It should be now.
It would be a
I hit
good
start.
idea.
Just hit start streaming.
And boom, we are now. It is now live. So dealing with the snow, here's one of the big issues that I think we all have to be somewhat concerned with when it does come to the weather. If I can swoop back to that, and that is the rooftops. Whether you have an outbuilding, a shed, or a garage, or what have you, anything with a near flat roof. As this snow continues to come through the week, and depending on where you are, we could be seeing a lot of it. You got to make sure you make sure those roofs, decks, and all that stuff are shoveled off, because it could end very poorly.
Yeah, and I mean,
believe.
I'm at a point now where I think I have to get up to my roof and do it today. It's a brand new roof, and we live in a ranch-style home, so there is a bit of a slope, but it is without any dorm. Where a lot of people are having issues this year, if you've got a Cape Cod-style home, or you have dormers where ice can kind of sit and build up in the corners and then melt, you may get some actual moisture buildup, and that can seep through. I gotta just imagine, looking at the chunks of ice on the edges of the roof, that can't be good for the roof. It just can't be.
I think you're probably correct there. So one of the things I tried to purchase, and we really haven't had any need for it, but you can get them delivered maybe a week from now. Is the rooftop snow shovels, which are usually very, very light but very long and durable. So you're able to pull that snow off the roof. I could not find one anywhere that anybody had one in stock. So
I might just need to go to your garage. I might need to go to your garage and grab yours.
I don't have one.
Oh, I thought you had purchased one. Oh, you were looking for one. Yeah, so we're probably screwed.
No, I'm looking for one. And I couldn't find it anywhere. So if you have one, maybe share it with your neighbor or what have you. You got to be careful, too. You're not pulling off shingles. But it is so important to get that snow off the roof. And then, it rains and then it freezes up. It becomes even more of a problem like you're describing. So be aware of all of that. Let's see. What else did I want to get to on the program today? Can we do that? I don't know if you saw this story out of New Hartford. But this is a really amazing story that hasn't yet been told. All that is out there right now is that police actually have arrested someone who I believe had been wanted on 2 previous warrants, or had been previously arrested. I've got to read the full story. But at the New Hartford Shopping Center, somebody got off. They came up to, how Charlie Seeley would put out some of his leather jackets out on the walkway there.
Right, yes.
Apparently, someone grabbed 2 of them and quickly jumped on a city bus, and away he went. Ultimately, he's been apprehended by police, but there's an unbelievable story on how that actually happened, and we'll tell it to you coming up later on this morning. We will try Hobica's free money question of the day this morning. Doing it remotely as I'm out of town this morning, and Andrew will handle things back there and Davey back in the studio. Just to give us an idea, Davey, what number are we looking at today to start off the week here? Remember, this is President's Day.
And we want to have a lot of presidents, Benjamins, although he wasn't ever president, Benjamin Franklin, was he? We need to have a high number to keep people cheered up from the snow.
$100.
Okay,
100. All right.
Make it 100. Make it 150.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't get what I said. I said we had to cheer people up.
It's Monday.
I had to travel all this way to do this show. Give me a break. It's Monday. So what's the number?
150.
All right,
$150. Wow, you're generous. We'll get to that. There's a local young golfer who will be competing at Augusta. We'll talk about that. Samantha Colosimo-Teston will give you an update on her big wish that she debates Katie Aiello. As Andrew said, Sheriff Rob Maciel is coming up a little later on this morning. Sad news coming out of the jail that someone was found deceased in their cell. And we'll get to that story a little later on as well here this morning. And then if we could talk about what a welcome he received in sunny Florida. What an amazing welcome Juan Soto received as he's at his new home for the next how many years, at least probably the next decade or so. Really welcomed, knocking balls out of the park during batting practice. Juan Soto is now a New York Met. I see that. That's your reaction. It was big yesterday, but here's the good news. We're talking baseball again, and this week we'll be seeing some preseason games by mid to end of the week. Some preseason baseball games. Pretty excited about that.
I'm glad it's back, although I don't know. At this rate, they won't be playing any games in the Northeast probably till May or June.
Well, I got to tell you, I'm in New York City, and there's no snow on the ground. So,
is it cold?
And yesterday was probably about 48.
Oh, that's not bad.
And rainy. It was not bad. It is. Normally if it's like 48, 50 degrees and it's really raining, you would be complaining. And there were people in the city complaining. And every time I saw someone complaining, I just would yell at them, "You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what bad is.
Enjoy it while you can."
That's right. This is just rain, although they are expecting snow this week. And they're saying it could be a substantial amount, which, could mean 3-4 inches, maybe 5 or 6 inches for New York City. But right now, there's nothing on the ground here. Quick break. We'll come right back. Andrew updates the news here on this Monday morning. It is President's Day on WIBX.
BME Company Business Machines and Equipment has been delivering office solutions for businesses in upstate New York for over 30 years. Their success comes from finding the right document management strategies and software solutions for streamlining workflows. Simply put, BME provides fast, reliable service at the best value to keep your business running smoothly. Through BME's strategic partnership with Hummel's Office Plus, they distribute supplies for just about every machine in your office at a great price. BME welcomes the opportunity to serve your business, selling, leasing, and service in Canon and Kyocera devices, as well as FP mailing solutions. An important part of BME's culture is supporting the communities they're fortunate to work in, and BME recognizes that support is one reason for their success. The future of business in BME's area is encouraging, and the company is grateful to be a part of that growth. BME Company Office Solutions, made simple.
Uncertainty, the unknown. These can be some of the greatest fears people face. There is a chance for a life of greater certainty that the Rome Rescue Mission provides. We call it a hand up, not a handout. The Rome Rescue Mission provides the basic necessities and the skills needed to start a new life. It starts simply with someone to talk to. Knowing that someone cares, the Rome Rescue Mission strives to meet basic needs, food, shelter, and clothing, but more importantly, provides emotional and spiritual support. The Rome Rescue Mission helps people start a new and promising life. Being in need is not a choice. Helping is. An unlimited future starts at the Rome Rescue Mission through your generous support. Make a difference and donate now. RomeMission.org. That's RomeMission.org. Rome Rescue Mission. A hand up, not a handout.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM News Time. 6:38. I'm Andrew Derminio. Right now, the weather is dreadful, to say the least. We're at 14 degrees. Feels like 8 below with the wind chill, the blowing snow. We've got more snow expected on the way. We'll speak to Ray Stajic of the Weather Channel coming up in just about 6 minutes here on First News with Keeler. The National Weather Service issuing high wind and lake effect snow warnings to cover multiple counties. The wind warning will be in effect for Madison and Onondaga counties through 7 p.m. tonight. Some gusts may reach 60 miles per hour, triggering the possibility of power outages because of snow and ice that has already fallen on trees and power lines. Travel could also be difficult, especially for larger vehicles like tractor trailers. The Amazon warehouse in Clay is fully back up and running again following a fire. The flames were reported Thursday at the facility on Morgan Road, and they were mostly knocked down by sprinklers, but the building could not reopen again until the sprinkler system was reset. The over 3,000 people who work at this warehouse did still get paid for their regular shifts. Customers can track any delayed packages by looking at their Amazon accounts. The Oneida County Sheriff's Office has announced the death of an inmate. Just before 3 p.m. yesterday, a corrections officer found the male unresponsive in his assigned cell and activated appropriate medical response protocol. Medical staff at the correctional facility immediately began life-saving efforts, and the ambulance then transported the male to Wynn Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. The name of the incarcerated male is not yet being released until next of kin has been notified. Further details will be released when they become available. We'll speak with Sheriff Rob Macchio coming up this morning on First News with Keeler. Central New York motorists aren't seeing much of a change in the price of gas when it comes time to fill up their vehicle. AAA says the average cost for a gallon of regular fuel in the Utica-Rome region is $3.30. That's down a penny from last week and is 1 cent more than this time a month ago. Currently, the state average is $3.17 a gallon, while nationally it's $3.16. And drivers who use Easy Pass to pay their tolls are being warned about an ongoing scam. Officials say people have reported getting text messages from an international number appearing to be an attempt to collect tolls. A link is then sent that directs recipients to a website that looks to be legitimate, but it's not. Neither Easy Pass or tolls by mail will ask for personal information like Social Security or credit card numbers by phone or text. Anyone who gets this message should delete it. Right now we're at 13 degrees, feels like 8 below, blowing snow and wind. Here's your forecast from Ray Stajic.
Lake effect snow once again with a lake effect snow warning, high wind warning too, so blowing snow, drifting snow, and significant travel trouble. Once these bands get organized, heavy snowfall at times. In some spots, we could see an additional 6 to 12 inches. Elsewhere, maybe 12 to 20-plus inches where the heaviest bands set up. Temperatures will be in the low 20s. Some of the winds could gust to 50 miles per hour. Another few inches of snow tonight and tomorrow. I'm meteorologist Ray Stajic at the Weather Channel, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Again, 13 degrees with snow, blowing snow. And, Bill, I can tell you this right now, that this is probably a combination of all the nasty stuff we've been experiencing all winter in one evening and now into the morning. It's brutal.
Yeah, it looks, based on some of the cameras I'm looking at here this morning, it looks pretty nasty. So be careful out on those roads. We'll get an update from Ray Stajic coming up in a second from the Weather Channel as to what we can expect going forward today and then going forward through the rest of the week. We'll do that coming right up at WIBX. It is 6:42 on Monday morning.
The Potting Shed Antiques in Whitesboro is buying silver, gold, gold-filled, vintage costume, estate jewelry, and U.S. and Canadian coins. They've been your hometown buyer for over 50 years. While other gold and silver buyers claim to offer the highest prices, the Potting Shed Antiques actually delivers. Let Don Hartman take a look at your individual pieces or your entire collection. The Potting Shed Antiques, open Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Please call ahead for an appointment. Visit thepottingshedantiques.com.
At Steve Ponte Chevy in Herkimer, we'd like to thank our first responders, active military, and veterans,
as well as healthcare employees and education employees.
Not only is Chevrolet offering $500 in savings towards the purchase of your new Chevy, but Steve Ponte Chevy is going to match that with an additional $500 for a total of $1,000 in savings as our thank you to you.
So together, let's drive and see why our customers always say it's so easy to do business with Steve Ponte Chevy on Route 28 in Herkimer.
Customer must qualify for educator, military, veterans, first responder, and healthcare discount. Must take delivery by February 28, 2025. See salesperson for details.
The big Spring New York State RV Show is back at the State Fairgrounds February 27th through March 2nd. It's the ultimate RV shopping experience with over 400 models and 100 different brands to choose from. And with 9 dealers competing for your business, it's the place to buy. Whether you're looking for a travel trailer, motorhome, or fifth wheel, you'll find it at the Spring New York State RV Show. Get your tickets at nysrvshow.com. Sponsored by the New York State RV Dealers Association of Syracuse.
This is Anthony Constantino, CEO of Sticker Mule. I'm a proud Trump supporter, running for Congress for the seat being vacated by Elise Stefanik. I built a successful internet company with nearly 1,000 people in upstate New York. However, much of upstate New York suffers from lack of access to high-speed internet that's necessary to build great companies and enable high-paying remote jobs. In fact, much of our district lacks access to strong, dependable cell phone service too. Of course, we must have both for public safety and to grow the economy. When elected to Congress, I will work quickly with President Trump to fix this problem. With high-speed internet, dependable cell service, and by renewing President Trump's tax cuts, both for businesses and individuals, we will create jobs and return economic prosperity to upstate New York. Follow me, Anthony Constantino, on Facebook today to learn more about my plans to make New York great again. I'm Anthony Constantino, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Constantino for Congress.
This is Keeler in the Morning. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Okay, we've had some really unbelievable weather. Let us go now to the Weather Channel's Ray Stajic to get an update. Ray, it is snowing, it is blustery, it is cold, it is all of that miserable. You probably already know that.
Yeah, and you know what, Bill? It's really, when you throw in this wind, it's really just adding insult to injury, right? It's salt on the wound. You got winds that are gusting 30, 40 miles per hour. There's a high wind warning. They could gust 40 to 50. And the problem is, with all that, not only do I have to worry about scattered power outages, right now going through Madison, Oneida counties, Lewis counties, I kind of looked up just some information. There's a few hundred customers without power right now. But you throw on top of that this lake effect snow that's starting to set up now, and some spots snowing heavily, especially northwestern Oneida County into Oswego and southern Lewis County. Point Rock, Parsons Mills up near Redfield, and just trying to get into Rome, but not quite into Utica. There might be some flurry snow showers. You got poor visibility. Even if they're cleaning the roads, guess what? The wind's just taking the snow and blowing it back over the roadway. So atrocious travel, especially north of the thruway as we head through. It may be all day today, tonight, and potentially even on in through most of the day tomorrow, wherever this band meanders, and that's what it'll do. It'll kind of meander north-south, but that concentrated area, more inches and inches, maybe even a couple more feet of snow in some spots.
Let's see. I have Richard here, who is a local weather person who's a weather enthusiast, I guess. Now through Wednesday morning, we should receive or could receive 2 feet or more. It's becoming a disaster outside. You agree with that?
Yeah, I agree 100%. Some spots end up 2 feet, 30 inches additional, and that's from right now, especially as you get up into and closer to, Oswego County, northwestern Oneida County, maybe even into southern Lewis County. That band, it will meander, but as you get into the higher population centers, Rome, you could still get double digits into the city of Utica itself, accumulating snow, but you're not going to be in the heaviest. As you get closer to the thruway and points east, there are snow showers, but they're more widely scattered. So the real heavy stuff is where it's been. It's basically been just the pattern we've been in. All the lake effect for some reason this year has all been in the same spot. That's just most of it. I mean, the real heavy stuff. And you're going to continue to have problems with the wind. You're going to have blowing snow, drifting snow, tough to see, tough to travel, and roof collapses. That's going to continue too. We had the rain and the freezing rain over the weekend. That didn't help because now within that snowpack, there's all that water, and that's just going to continue to weigh down. You throw snow on top of it, and it's going to be a mess.
I find interesting with this year, which is unique, is those areas that normally, even during our mild winters, they're certainly getting much less snow, but they're in the higher elevations. So they tend to get wild. Maybe in the valleys where we are, we're getting rain. Up in the higher elevations, they're getting snow. They'll get the snow before we get the snow. So their snow totals are always higher, but not this year. This year, we're in this lake effect snow belt, and our area is just, which is it normally can escape at least some of this, is just getting pounded.
Yeah, and it's strange too
because
Syracuse has been in the snow drought, and they've actually missed a lot of the lake effect snow. Where in and around Utica, I mean, I think officially there's no official recording station, but I think I saw 70 or 80 inches, at least for the city. But you're up in Worth and Redfield, the big snowbelt areas on the hill. You're at or over 300 inches for the winter, and it's not over. I mean, we still got the rest of February, and we can get some big storms in March too. And I don't see too much changing, at least over the next 5 days.
So I have Mike here saying, sorry, Ray, I can't put salt on the wound. I checked Home Depot and Lowe's and everywhere. They're out of salt. We literally have a salt shortage now.
Yeah, and I was thinking about that. It's like, when you go all these winters and you really don't have an impactful winter like we're having this year, maybe you budget a little bit differently. Same thing with some of the the hardware stores too. They probably say, well, you know what, I'm going to back off on my order, and then bam, there you go. And salt in short supply, and I bet the man hours too. Some of those guys out there in those county roads and the New York State Thruway Authority, you get out there and plow, they're probably getting a little bit tired too in some spots.
Well, even some
There's
of the
no doubt
local,
about it.
even some of the local plow guys you talk to, like they're having mechanical issues now. I mean, the wear and tear on their trucks and their vehicles. I know that they're built to take it, but at the same time, how much is too much?
Yeah, and you get to a point too. Where do you put it? I mean, you can only push it back so far. I mean, the beginning of the year, do you say, well, if I'm plowing a business or even a driveway or something, how far do I want to push that snow back into, and how far can I? And then eventually it just starts coming into the driveway. I remember back living in the Hudson Valley years ago, had this problem where, you think you're going to get a normal winter, and the banks started coming in. It actually ended up to where we had to get a front end loader to start scooping some of the snow out. So you also have that problem where you're going to put it in. Some of these wing rows are just amazing. I mean, the snow on the side of the roads is out over the roofs of some cars where some of this heaviest snow has fallen. It's, for me, guys, you know me, I'm a snow lover. I mean, this has been crazy.
Well, it really is amazing in those years ago when you'd drive through some of these areas that really got hit hard with snow, and they don't use plows to get the snow out of the road. They have to use these giant snow blowers, which blow and the banks become like 25 feet tall. And you're driving through that, and it feels like you're going through a cavern of some sort. That stuff, especially in those areas that are getting 3 feet at a storm, it's like that up there. So, it is what. Now, here's one more thing to think about. Is we have to hope for a gradual warm up.
Mm-hmm.
What we don't want is a quick warm up and rain, and then we have a whole new problem.
Yeah, that would be flooding, and as I said, you get into. I think we're a few weeks away from that. We get into. I'd really say we start talking about that maybe mid-March. When we start thinking about, now these systems are going to start getting, now we're getting a higher sun angle, so snow's going to start melting. So, let's keep our fingers crossed and hope we don't get any big rainstorms to come in. And again, with the lake effect, it's localized. I mean, there's a lot of snow basically in the Adirondack State Park on Tug Hill and in and around Utica, north of the Thruway. But, these real big blockbuster totals of 300 inches, relatively speaking, it's a localized area. But for many, as you know, it's been quite a winter here through the upstate and into some of the higher hills, especially.
And then somebody asking, how do we get this lake effect? When normally you hear about lake effect, it's because the lakes are still warm. But now these lakes are frozen over. How are we still getting that lake effect?
Well, Ontario is not frozen over. You can't get lake effect with a frozen. So, that you got to kick that out. Ontario is a much deeper lake, so it's tougher to get it to freeze over. I mean, you really got to have those extremely cold nights like we're having out in the upper Midwest now, where in the Dakotas and northern Minnesota right now, the air temperatures are around 30 below zero, and that's without the wind. And, we've had winters like that back in years past where, this winter, I think we've seen teens. We may have gotten to 20-something below in the Adirondacks, but we haven't had that 30 to 40 below air, which some of the records are, by the way.
Right.
Nobody didn't know. The record for the state's 52 below in Old Forge. That's the all-time record low temperature.
Wow.
So, Ontario's a tougher lake to freeze over, Bill.
Yep, fair enough. All right, we've taken enough of your time. You're busy. We appreciate it. Have a wonderful day.
All right, Bill. Stay safe.
All right, thank you so much, Ray Stajic, with the Weather Channel, and this just seems to be. I mean, I'm kind of laughing about it because it just seems to be. We keep complaining, and it just keeps coming, Andrew.
This is
we keep complaining.
Yes,
it keeps coming,
and I will complain. And I'm going to tell you right now. I've told people this before. I have never complained this summer when it was too hot. You've never heard me say it's too hot. Because I don't mind the heat. It's this stuff that really bothers me. And I can't take it anymore.
I have a few things. You can't. You can't take it anymore. You're done. I don't think you have any choice. That's part of the problem. Well, maybe you do, Andrew. Maybe you do. There's only one choice. And, it's funny because we run from, you hear all these people, especially the snowbirds that head down to Florida. We run from here in the wintertime. And then you run back up here because you want to avoid any of the, hurricanes and all that stuff. So, it is what it is. And the reality really is we've been very lucky. When you look at where we were last year at this time, we have been really, really lucky.
For the last 5 years.
How nice it was in April where we were able to all get out and enjoy the eclipse. I mean, that was such a big deal, if you remember. That was, April 12th or something?
April 8th.
Somewhere in that vicinity.
Yeah.
April 8th. And, I remember sitting out in Old Forge with shorts on watching the eclipse. And it chilled a little bit when the sun was completely eclipsed. But then when the sun came back out, it wasn't bad. And then it rained a little bit, but it just was, you were in shorts. And maybe we'll still be there. It's possible. All right, a few things I want to get into that catches my interest anyway. We've all seen by now this video that keeps playing over it, the whale video swallowing the kayaker.
Yes.
And that's kind of interesting where it seemed like it was more of a bay because you could see land. It wasn't that far.
Right. It's not like he was
on a kayak. How far are you going to go out on a kayak?
Right. It's not like he was deep into the water there.
So the whale, humpback whale, suddenly surfaced out of nowhere and briefly swallowed the entire kayak and the kayaker. It was all caught on camera from his buddy's kayak, who had to be like, at this point, oh, my God, he's coming after me next. And luckily, the man's kayak was too big for the humpback whale to swallow, so he spit him right back out. It's a wonder the man didn't fall out of the kayak and into the throat of the whale. Then what do you do?
Then you panic.
And he was miraculously unharmed. Here he is. I believe I can get this to play. I'm going to hope. Hold on. Because I haven't tested this yet. We've been kind of going through... Let's see. We've been going through setting this up. I think I've got this working now. Here's the man telling what it felt like from his perspective.
It was 1 second where I thought that I was eaten by some kind of giant fish, but I didn't know it was a whale. Suddenly I felt like a wave struck me from behind, and I turned around. Some blue dark colors and white flashing right through my face, and I felt a slimy texture in my cheek, and then it shot down on me, took me underwater. I closed my eyes because I thought that something would crash into my face.
Yeah, and then the whale spit him out. Isn't that unbelievable?
It's unbelievable. Like Jonah.
Anybody watch, Davey, anybody watch the NBA All-Star Game? Anybody?
Nope.
There was a fan, Steph Curry may have won the All-Star Game MVP last night, but it was a fan who a lot of people are talking about today. Jaron Barejas is an 18-year-old college student. He got to play against Milwaukee Bucks star Damian Lillard in a three-point shootout contest. And Damian had to make 3 long logo shots to win. Jaron just had to make one from way back. With the clock winding down, he hit it at the buzzer.
Wow.
Here he is. Here's audio from it. It was really cool. He won $100,000.
Keep shooting. Oh! He did it! He did it! Oh, he did it! Get in the money! You jump in the money! Jump in the money!
This is surreal. I can't thank anybody but my dad. And thank you for the opportunity.
Well, that was the most exciting call of the entire All-Star game.
Yes, it was.
That was pretty big. A judge in Michigan says people who shoplift from Walmart will be tasked with washing people's cars while they are inside Walmart. Here is the judge announcing in the courtroom what their punishment is going to be. Here we go.
I came up with a wash for Walmart. So everybody who's here in the courtroom today is going to be doing community service, washing cars. So the people that actually go to Walmart and pay for their goods, they are going to get a free car wash for the people that think it's a good idea to go there and steal.
Oh, okay.
Wow, community service.
Andrew, I'm sorry, I read that completely wrong. I thought it was 59:48. Listen,
said 58:49.
I'm sitting in a hotel room. My wife is snoring beside me.
You better be careful.
Oh, she can hear me. She can hear me.
Yes, she can.
That's a major distraction. All right, let me break. We have news coming up top of the hour. Stand by at WIBX.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome. W295EI. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
Is Russia getting ready to stop the war in Ukraine? I'm Dave Anthony. Fox News talks are planned tomorrow in Saudi Arabia, where Secretary of State Marco Rubio has arrived to lead the U.S. delegation. Russia's foreign minister will be there. President Trump says after his call with Russian leader Vladimir Putin,
I think he wants to stop fighting. I see that.
Now, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky is skeptical about Putin.
He's a liar. He doesn't want any peace. But I think he's really a little bit scared about the President Trump.
Zelensky also tells NBC's Meet the Press he will not accept any agreement to end the war if Ukraine's not directly involved in the talks. European leaders are meeting today, also not happy. They're not part of the U.S. and Russian negotiations.
So they're going to tackle how to respond to the fast-moving pace of the Trump administration, which came as a shock to many of these European leaders, Washington's shifting policies, and the Trump's team's conversations with Moscow. Much of the focus will also center on bolstered defense spending efforts and the big question of sending troops to Ukraine after a ceasefire.
Fox's Alex Hogan. This is day number 500 for the hostage nightmare in Gaza since Hamas launched the terror attack and kidnappings inside Israel, triggering the war.
We're tired as families of these milestones. I did not think we'll reach such a terrible milestone.
Moshe Levy tells Fox they are fearful Hamas may not release his brother-in-law, Omri, if the Gaza ceasefire falls apart. Other hostages have been released in recent weeks. Several areas of Kentucky are underwater in a flooding disaster that left 9 people dead. Governor Andy Beshear says
so many of these fatalities were due to attempts to drive through water and through moving water.
About 1,000 other people had to be rescued. There's also flooding in Tennessee and Virginia, another storm death in Georgia. Back to President Trump. He spoke about Russia after he left the Daytona 500 where he took a lap in his limo.
I am a really big fan of you people that you do this. I don't know, but I just want you to be safe.
William Byron won the race last night. America's listening to Fox News.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. But don't just take our word for it. Here's Jackie and Veronica, real customers.
I didn't know that I could get something for a lot less money that was actually better than who I was with before.
Anytime anybody complains about their cell phone bill, we say, you've got to check out Consumer Cellular.
Our U.S.-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Just call or click to see how much you can save today. Because when it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit ConsumerCellular.com. That's 1-888-FREEDOM or ConsumerCellular.com today. Real people paid to share their opinions in this ad. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing.
He is not going to step down. New York City Mayor Eric Adams defiant, saying at a church service yesterday morning that he is on a mission from God. The mayor denies he worked out a deal with President Trump to cooperate with illegal immigration raids to get charges dropped in a federal bribery and corruption case.
Maryland Congressman Jamie Raskin, the top Democrat on the House Judiciary Committee, said on CBS Face the Nation the DOJ's proposal to Adams, as claimed by a now former federal prosecutor, is not proper.
We will drop
this case against you if you engage in certain kinds of political or policy accommodations with us.
But Raskin said it's not as simple as just dropping the case. A New York federal judge must have his say.
Judge Dale Ho does not have to accept the withdrawal of the charges.
Ex-U.S. Attorney Danielle Sassoon said in her resignation letter she expects a lengthy judicial inquiry into the DOJ's request. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
On Wall Street, it'll be quiet. No trading on President's Day. The NBA's stars shined last night.
Team Shaq, the Shaq's OGs, take home the 2025 All-Star Game.
On TNT, Steph Curry hit a shot from half court to help his team be the first to reach 40 points in the final of the NBA All-Star Game, which was a mini tournament between 4 squads. Curry scored 12 points in the finale and was named All-Star Game MVP for the second time. LeBron James, who was on the winning team, announced before the game he would not play because of lingering pain in his ankle and his foot. It ended a run of what was 20 consecutive All-Star Game appearances by James.
That's Fox's Jared Max. Hockey's Four Nations face-off resumes in Boston today. The tournament involving NHL players putting the season on hold. It's Canada versus Finland this afternoon, 1 p.m. Eastern. Then at 8 tonight, the U.S. plays Sweden. The Americans already clinched a spot in the final, so today's games will decide which country the U.S. will play. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM News Time 7:05. I'm Andrew Dominio. The weather is, well, how do you say it? Other than atrocious. 13 degrees, blowing snow, windy, feels like 8 below. Your full weather forecast from Ray Stajic is coming up. The National Weather Service issuing high wind and lake effect snow warnings that cover multiple counties. The wind warning will be in effect for Madison and Onondaga counties through 7 p.m. tonight. Some gusts may reach 60 miles per hour, triggering the possibility of power outages because of snow and ice that has already fallen on trees and power lines. Travel could also be difficult, especially for larger vehicles like tractor trailers. An incarcerated individual at the Oneida County Correctional Facility was found unresponsive in his cell Monday afternoon. Sheriff Rob Maciel says medical staff and emergency responders attempted life-saving measures, but the man was pronounced dead at Wynn Hospital in Utica. His identity is being withheld pending family notification. The sheriff's office, along with state authorities, are conducting a full investigation as required for in-custody deaths. Further details will be released as they become available. A Rome man was arrested Friday morning after allegedly stabbing his nephew during a domestic dispute. Police say officers responded to 305 East Dominic Street at around 7:08 in the morning, where they found a 31-year-old man with a puncture wound to his back. The victim, identified as his uncle, John Young, as the attacker, was transported to a hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Young was taken into custody, processed to the Rome Police Department, and arraigned in Rome City Court before being remanded to Oneida County Jail. He faces charges of second-degree assault and third-degree criminal possession of a weapon. Central New York motorists aren't seeing much of a change in the price of gas when it comes time to fill up. AAA says the average cost for a gallon of regular fuel right now in the Utica-Rome area is $3.34. That's up a penny in the last week and 3 cents more than this time 1 month ago. Currently, the state average is $3.17 per gallon, while nationally it's $3.16. Drivers who use Easy Pass to pay their tolls are being warned about an ongoing scam. Officials say people have reported getting text messages from an international number that appears to be an attempt to collect tolls. A link is then sent that directs recipients to a website that looks to be legitimate, but it's not. Neither Easy Pass or tolls by mail will ask for personal information like Social Security or credit card numbers by phone or text. Anyone who gets this message should delete it. And a new flavor will soon be available for Wendy's Frosty lovers. On February 21st, Wendy's will start selling Thin Mint flavored Frosties based off the popular Girl Scout cookie. Last year, Wendy's sold an average of 500 Frosties a minute in the United States. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM News Time 7:08. Here's your forecast from the Weather Channel.
Lake effect snow once again with a lake effect snow warning. High wind warning too, so blowing snow, drifting snow, and significant travel trouble. Once these bands get organized, heavy snowfall at times. In some spots, we could see an additional 6 to 12 inches. Elsewhere, maybe 12 to 20-plus inches where the heaviest bands set up. Temperatures will be in the low 20s. Some of the winds could gust to 50 miles per hour. Another few inches of snow tonight and tomorrow. I'm meteorologist Ray Stidgick at the Weather Channel, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, 13 degrees. Feels like 8 below with blowing snow. It's just dreadful. It is 7:09. In sports, Team Shaq took down Team Chuck 41-25 to win the 2025 NBA All-Star Game at Chase Center. Jason Tatum led all scorers with 15 points in the championship game. Steph Curry was named Most Valuable Player after combining for 20 points on the night. 3 countries are still vying for a spot in the Four Nations face-off final. The U.S. clinched a berth in Thursday's championship game with a 3-1 win over Canada on Saturday. Round-robin play will wrap up Monday with Canada taking on Finland and the U.S. facing Sweden. The most versatile player in college football is slotted into one specific position for the upcoming NFL draft. Former Colorado two-way superstar Travis Hunter is heading into the scouting combine as a defensive back. Hunter was expressing interest in playing on defense along with wide receiver, but scouts believe he will excel best at corner. The Heisman winner had 4 interceptions and 11 pass breakups last season to go with 96 catches, 1,258 yards, and 16 total touchdowns. The combine takes place in Indianapolis next Monday, and round 1 of the draft will be on April 24th in Green Bay. The Yankees could be without one of their big sluggers for the start of the season. Manager Aaron Boone said Sunday that it is tough to say if Giancarlo Stanton will be available for opening day on March 27th against the Brewers. Stanton is still dealing with tendinitis in both elbows, something he had to play through last season. Boone was not willing to put a timeline on Stanton's return, but did say that he expects him to be okay. New York begins Grapefruit League play Friday afternoon when they host Tampa Bay at its facility in Tampa. The Mets' newest star has officially reported to spring training after agreeing to a 15-year, $765 million deal as a free agent. Juan Soto is ready to get to work. Soto has already played for 3 different organizations and said that he's really happy to know where he is going to be for the future. The 26-year-old spent his first day at the facility in Port St. Lucie talking to his manager, stretching with his teammates, and participating in batting practice. New York begins Grapefruit League play Saturday afternoon when they host the Houston Astros, where his team will have, or his family will have their own private box for spring training during the duration there in Port St. Lucie. In other news, with regard to sports, the Syracuse Orange basketball team, they did not play so hot. They lost 88-82. They've dropped 3 of their last 4 games. The 11-15 Orange will visit Pitt tomorrow night, and then, as Davey said, they'll be off for a week. Daytona 500, Davey, the winner was?
William Byron won.
William Byron,
Second
2 years
year?
in a row.
Yeah, 2 years in a row. It was a rain delay for like 3 hours. It went off about 6 o'clock. They race in Atlanta this coming weekend.
All right, there you go. Ludwig Aberg was the winner at the Genesis Invitational. He shot a 6-under-66 in the final round and finished the tournament at Torrey Pines in San Diego atop the leaderboard at 12 under. And Wayne, with his $10 bet, made off good by picking Aberg to win. We do have some school closings. Well, the schools are closed this week for February break, but the colleges were still open. That is not the case today. Hamilton College, MVCC, both closed. SUNY Poly has in-person classes canceled, and classes are canceled at Utica University with only essential personnel reporting. The SUNY Morrisville campus will open at 10 a.m., and the city of Utica, Rome, Marcy, Herkimer, Dolgeville, Town of Frankfort, and Village of Frankfort, Town of New York Mills, Steuben, Western, and Village of Whitesboro all on snow emergencies with no unnecessary travel. We've got a full list of event and organizational closings online at WIBX950.com. It is 7:13.
Sarah's Flooring Outlet is the area's leading flooring store for Pergo Extreme by Mohawk.
Only Sarah's can offer a lowest price guarantee on Pergo Extreme.
Sarah's will beat anyone's Pergo Extreme price within a 60-mile radius of our store.
Pergo Extreme from Sarah's offers deeper visuals. The wide-ranging, authentic looks and deep textures are available in beautiful wood and stone patterns.
Deeper protection. The superior wear layer and layered construction offers the best protection against wear and dents.
Deeper warranty. Industry-leading and worry-free for life. 100% dent-proof, waterproof, kid-proof, and pet-proof.
Plus, get 6 months interest-free financing at Sarah's.
Sarah's also has Revwood by Mohawk on sale now.
Revwood is premium American-made laminated wood with a wide variety of colors and textures. See why more people buy from the big store.
Sarah's Flooring Outlet.
Route 49 Plaza, River Road, Marcy, and online at sarahsflooringoutlet.com.
Want selection on your next mattress? At Mattress Express, we have Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, Sealy, Purple, Puffy, the Smart Bed by Instant Comfort, Posh and Lavish, and more. No one else in New York State has all these brands under one roof, open 7 days a week.
Taxes was not knowing your full financial picture. Now Taxes is getting and maximizing your refund all in one place. Credit Karma, where a TurboTax expert can do your taxes for you. They'll get you the most money back, guaranteed. Then you can do more with all that money, all in Credit Karma. Now this is taxes. Intuit Credit Karma with TurboTax. Get started today. See guaranteed details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.
Uncertainty, the unknown. These can be some of the greatest fears people face. There is a chance for a life of greater certainty that the Rome Rescue Mission provides. We call it a hand up, not a handout. The Rome Rescue Mission provides the basic necessities and the skills needed to start a new life. It starts simply with someone to talk to. Knowing that someone cares, the Rome Rescue Mission strives to meet basic needs, food, shelter, and clothing, but more importantly, provides emotional and spiritual support. The Rome Rescue Mission helps people start a new and promising life. Being in need is not a choice. Helping is. An unlimited future starts at the Rome Rescue Mission through your generous support. Make a difference and donate now. RomeMission.org. That's RomeMission.org. Rome Rescue Mission. A hand up, not a handout.
This is Anthony Constantino, CEO of Sticker Mule. I'm a proud Trump supporter, running for Congress for the seat being vacated by Elise Stefanik. I built a successful internet company with nearly 1,000 people in upstate New York. However, much of upstate New York suffers from lack of access to high-speed internet that's necessary to build great companies and enable high-paying remote jobs. In fact, much of our district lacks access to strong, dependable cell phone service too. Of course, we must have both for public safety and to grow the economy. When elected to Congress, I will work quickly with President Trump to fix this problem. With high-speed internet, dependable cell service, and by renewing President Trump's tax cuts, both for businesses and individuals, we will create jobs and return economic prosperity to upstate New York. Follow me, Anthony Constantino, on Facebook today to learn more about my plans to make New York great again. I'm Anthony Constantino, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Constantino for Congress.
The snow isn't stopping anytime soon, and that means you're taking your car to get washed over and over again to get all that salt off. But how would you like $100 in free car washes? It's WIBX's Snowmageddon 2025 contest. All you need to do is send us your snow photos on the WIBX mobile app, and the person who sends in the best one wins $100 in free car washes. We want to see photos of your snowbanks, drifts, snowmen, whatever shows off your crazy snow totals, and it could win you $100 in Hoffman's car washes. Winner will be picked Friday on Keeler. See the WIBX website for details.
This is actual footage of Bill Keeler doing a radio show on WIBX. Sadly, his career was found in a heavily wooded area. If you know the person or persons who ended the radio career of Bill Keeler, please tell them thanks on behalf of the people of Central New York.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Did I miss a spot, Andrew?
You're all good. No, you did not.
I'm good. Okay. All right. Okay. Just making sure. I was wandering around the hotel. It's amazing. Sometimes you can get down a hallway and it goes down. It's an area where you shouldn't be, and
restricted access.
They don't like that.
Yeah,
they don't like that. So good morning. Here we are, and let's see. I did want to get into a couple of things. I know you have some comments. You want to get to those here this morning. By the way, I also want to give you some strategies, and I will in a second, on this Snowmageddon contest, where you don't have to do much at all. Just take a picture of whatever is impressive in your yard when it comes to snow. Send it to us. Best photo end of the week could win $100 in car washes. But I have some strategies for you, and we'll get to that coming up. What do you have?
I love it. This is Darlene in Sequoit. Lake effect here in Sequoit all night. Barely any visibility here now, and that's without the wind gusts. Then we have Bill in Deerfield. This is kind of what you were talking about earlier, Bill. This is what winter is supposed to be. People have gotten soft and forgotten that this is an average winter looking at the stats. Not in the last few years.
That is true. The averages are based on you take the last 10 years and you average all the weather together. If that's the case, this is an abnormal winter. Maybe old-fashioned would be the way he should describe it, but I'm not sure it's average anymore.
No, indeed.
I have some comments here. Is Megan in the studio today?
She is.
Hola.
All right, Larry, Megan looking good.
Oh, God.
Remember, Trump's back in office. That stuff's okay now. That's apparently
hold on.
A-okay, apparently. Larry.
Lance and Lee has a comment in the form of a picture. Okay. Well, he's bringing up stuff with the Utica Fire Department, so we'll get into that, I'm sure, at some point, Lance and Lee. He's just sharing numbers from the Utica Police and Fire payrolls, I guess.
By the way, you can go to YouTube. That's YouTube, not YouTube TV, and search Keeler live stream. Subscribe to it, which would be wise. If you're watching right now, subscribe, because you'll get a reminder every morning in your inbox, and you just click the button, and it's right there. It's easy to find. But you can watch on your big screen TV, on your little screen TV, on your computer, on your phone, in your car, using YouTube. Just search for Keeler live stream, and you'll see everything that's going on in studio. Also, with the Snowmageddon contest, the easiest way for you to submit a photo is through the WIBX 950 app. It's absolutely free. There's a story on our front page of our website right now about this contest, and all you have to do, there's a link right there where you can download the app, and you can submit a photo just like that. It's very easy. So the way this contest works, and here's what I'm going to tell you. I'm not sure with all the lake effect snow, that's falling right now, I'm not sure you want to send in the photo right now. Maybe you have a good photo you want to send now, but you might have a better one you could send on Thursday. So get everything all set up, maybe test a photo, send one in, and then you can enter as often as you want with pictures. And then one will be selected on Friday morning. That winner will receive $100 in free car washes, which will get you at least 5, depending on which one you select. And I feel like with all this snow and slush and everything else, you're going to need the car washes.
Yeah.
Any other comments you want to hit, Andrew?
No, but Stefan has one.
Let me take Stefan on the line. He has a comment. He's on the line. Hello, Stefan Ribitsky. Good morning.
Well, hello,
Good morning,
Bill. Now, yesterday was a big day. Juan
here we go.
Soto, what's that?
Go ahead.
Yes,
go ahead.
Keep going. I like it.
Juan Soto reported to New York Mets camp for spring training down in Port St. Lucie.
And they welcomed him with open arms, right?
Yes, they did, and they have Alonso back. He re-signed with the Mets.
He did. But here's the interesting part about how they handled this, Andrew. You realize if you bring in Alonso and Soto, Soto's going to get all the attention.
Yes.
So they brought Soto back yesterday, and Alonso comes into spring training today. So Alonso will have his own day, which really is a big celebration for the Mets, because most people didn't think we were going to get him back. So I think this is it's a big deal. So there you go. Yeah, Stefan.
Yeah, that's going to be a very good lineup, hopefully, this year for the Mets, and hopefully the pitching holds up and the bullpen holds up.
Can I tell you? Okay, enough there, Yankees fans. Andrew.
Well,
and
as you heard, Bill, they reported that Juan Soto's family got a private suite for spring training. They put him up in a condo. They've given him free hot dog and popcorn vouchers. So yeah, they're all taken care of. They're all set.
That's right. They get for free one of those little plastic Met cats with a scoop of ice cream in it.
Yes, with chocolate syrup and sprinkles.
Listen, no, hot fudge and sprinkles and nuts are extra. So the ice cream.
We got to draw the line somewhere.
The little helmet. Okay, so yeah, and here's something that you want to keep in mind that Soto stated. Juan Soto said yesterday he is very excited about his new home. Of course, he signed a deal for over a decade to stay with the Mets. But he said, this is key, please listen to these words, Stefan. On paper, we look really good. You know what that means? That means on paper we look good, but we could be pathetic.
Yeah, doomed to fail.
Because think about it, every time a team tries to buy their way into the World Series, I feel like it almost always ends badly.
Except for the Dodgers.
Stefan, pitching, except for the Dodgers. Pitching. It's so important here that we get this pitching staff together and they stay healthy. And because, listen, you can only hit your way out of a jam so many times. You've got to have the pitching to shut down the other team's offense.
Yeah. Pitching needs to come through and help out the offense a little bit. Defense is key.
Yeah. All right. Defense, of course, very important as well. You're absolutely right. Okay, Stefan, anything else? Things are good?
Things are good.
Okay. All right. Have a great week. Enjoy the snow.
Well, thank you. I'm kind of sick of it right now.
Kind of.
Yeah. We're right there with you. So, all right. Have a great day, Stefan. Thank you. Coming up,
Bye,
you saw that story at the You saw that story in the Harvard Shopping Center where somebody who I believe had some previous trouble with the law was looking to do a little thievery, a little shoplifting at the New Harvard Shopping Center and grabbed 2 leather jackets that are hanging outside. Were hanging outside, I believe, from Charlie Seeley's Forever Leather.
He keeps them out in the winter even? I didn't realize that.
And apparently it wasn't that bad over the weekend. He had them out there. And listen, these were only 2 beans apiece. So they weren't...
well, it was cold. I mean, really. Maybe somebody needed to get warm.
It was cold. And anyway, the guy grabbed, allegedly, 2 jackets and then jumped on a bus. And he ultimately was arrested by New Hartford police. Do you know how he was arrested?
I do not.
That is the amazing story that we will tell you coming up in just a few minutes. It is an incredible story. Some other comments here coming in this morning. Bill Morehouse is speaking out. Here, if I can grab him, I'll get to Bill, and then Mike, I'll take you next. Investment advice over 90.5 wins on the New York Mets. It's a mortal lock. Send it in.
Yeah, okay, Bill.
And, well, I got to tell you, I think he's right. I think this is going to be the year. We'll see.
Well, he is a Vikings fan. He also had another comment to me. I don't know what to do. My global warming thermometer is buried under 3 feet of snow.
Yeah,
Here's Mike
we
and
are.
Skylar.
Actually, what is interesting that they'll tell you is that with global warming, these extremes are a part of global warming. Sometimes they're snow extremes in places that normally get snow. Is that the truth, or are they just trying to cover their tracks? Here's Mike and Skylar. Good morning, Mike.
Hey, good morning.
Hi, Mike.
Yeah, actually, too, they modified his contract. So his contract, I guess his favorite movie is that Coming to America with Eddie Murphy. So he's going to have all the benefits that Eddie Murphy did when he was Akeem. So he'll have all the, the pedals are put in front of him. They're going to have the when you go to the Met Stadium, they'll have the dollars that have Soto's face and all the money and everything, the faders, all that stuff. He's going to until 2041. And then 2041 will be when the contract's up, and that's when the Mets will win the World Series in 2041.
That'll probably be it. It's so funny how you Yankee fans loved Juan Soto, and now all of a sudden Juan Soto's worthless.
I don't say worthless. Not $765 million.
It's not as much as he's asking. Right, they got.
Listen to me.
But,
listen to me. This is coming from the fan of the team that is known. No one is. They wrote the book on buying a win in baseball. So, Anyway, it is what it is. What else is going on, Mike?
Yes. Hey, so I went to the hockey game. I just want to let you know that it was real fun. We went to the 72 first, right? We took my girlfriend and I, my brother and his wife. So we were about 10, 12 minutes late for the game because we had to get done, but we just missed 12 minutes, and we get in there. I go, it's probably no score yet. It's 3-0 in 12 minutes.
Wow.
3-0 in 12 minutes, and they did not score again until the very end when they brought the goalie out. So it's like they didn't have a goal. So I'm thinking, are you kidding me? I don't know how the heck they scored the 3 goals in 12 minutes. That was amazing. I don't know if anyone's seen it.
Andrew, that buzz should be gone now, is it?
Yes.
Oh, can you hear me?
Mike, so here, I've got you. So here is, I just lost it. Here is God, what just happened here? I'll get there. So the Pioneers won Friday night. They ended up losing when they played at Geneseo, they lost 7-3, but they scored four goals, winning 4-0 against Geneseo on Friday night. This means the Pioneers and 3 were
the first 10 minutes.
Okay.
The first 10 minutes of the game.
The first 10 minutes.
They got the 3.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, how did they do that? How did they score that quick?
Yeah. 18-3-2 overall, the Pioneers are. I kind of feel like this is a little better situation for the Pioneers. Every year they seem to go into. I mean, they have some really. This conference is very competitive right now, and they have some really, really tough games. And I almost feel like this is a better scenario for the Pioneers to go into the playoffs. And whereas in the past they've gone in, they're undefeated, and they end up getting knocked out early on. I'm feeling better about this. Obviously, we've got a long ways to go as the UCHC playoffs begin on February 26th. My guess is they might have a bye there, but either way, we'll talk to Gary Heenan on it coming up. So I'm glad you went to the game. It was all good.
Yep. Defense was real strong on Friday night between both teams, really.
Yeah.
Except for the first 10 minutes, which I didn't see because we were at the dinner at the 72.
Because you were at the. But don't they have the game on? Don't they have the game on there?
Well, there's I didn't see it. I didn't see it on there. All the TVs. I was looking. I did not see it.
They do that for the Comets games. I'm not sure about Utica University.
For the Pioneers. All right. Thank you, Michael. Have a wonderful day.
Yep,
Thank you.
You too.
Thanks. Portions of the program brought to you by Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. Number one, they're hiring. Chuck and his crew there do a tremendous job, and they're always looking for really good people to work on their team. Reach out to them, fill out an application. Whether you have experience in the baking industry or you don't, they have openings right now at Daylight Donuts. Check out their amazing coffee. It's Seattle's best. The drive-thru is lightning fast. You're in, you're out, and you're on your way. Also, buying Sarah's Flooring Outlet. Go to the big store with the biggest of inventory. Nobody has a bigger inventory with a greater selection than they do at Insera's Flooring Outlet. We recently are in the market for tile, and my wife has all big plans. And where do you think we find the tile? At Insera's. And they had exactly what she was looking for until she went in the second time and found something she liked even better. and we cut the deal. So we'll be adding tile from Insera's. And it's, listen, the service you get there, the quality of the product, and the selection is like nowhere else. There's financing available. Take advantage of it. Go to their website, serasflooringoutlet.com. All right, coming up, we'll do Habaika's free money question of the day. $150 on the line this morning. And first, though, Andrew has news on WIBX.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM News Time 7:34. I'm Andrew Dermenio. Right now we have all sorts of stuff going on. Cloudy skies, blowing snow, areas of precipitation that's mixed, windy conditions. 13 feels like 6 below. Your full weather forecast is coming up. The National Weather Service issuing high wind and lake effect snow warnings that cover multiple counties. Some gusts may reach 60 miles per hour, triggering the possibility of power outages because of snow and ice that has already fallen on trees and power lines. Travel could also be difficult, especially for larger vehicles like tractor trailers. An incarcerated individual at the Oneida County Correctional Facility was found unresponsive in his cell Monday afternoon. Sheriff Rob Maciel says medical staff and emergency responders attempted life-saving measures, but the man was pronounced dead at Wynn Hospital in Utica. His identity is being withheld pending family notification. The sheriff's office, along with state authorities, are conducting a full investigation as required for in-custody deaths. Further details will be released as they become available. We'll speak to Oneida County Sheriff Rob Maciel coming up this morning on First News with Keeler. A Rome man was arrested Friday morning after allegedly stabbing his nephew during a domestic dispute. Police say officers responded to 305 East Dominic Street at 7:08 in the morning, where they found a 31-year-old man with a puncture wound to his back. The victim identified his uncle, John Young, as the attacker and was transported to a hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Young was taken into custody, processed at the Rome Police Department, and arraigned in Rome City Court before being remanded to Oneida County Jail. He faces charges of second-degree assault and third-degree criminal possession of a weapon. The Amazon warehouse in Clay is fully back up and running again after a fire. The flames were reported Thursday at the facility on Morgan Road, and they were mostly knocked down by sprinklers, but the building could not reopen again until the sprinkler system was reset. The over 3,000 people who work at this warehouse did still get paid for their regular shifts. Customers can track any delayed packages by looking at their Amazon accounts. Drivers who use E-ZPass to pay their tolls are being warned about an ongoing scam. Officials say people have reported getting text messages from an international number that appears to be an attempt to collect tolls. A link is then sent that directs recipients to a website that looks legitimate, but it's not. Neither E-ZPass or tolls by mail will ask for personal information like Social Security or credit card numbers by phone or text. Anyone who gets this message should delete it. And a sequel to the classic film The Goonies is in the works. Warner Brothers is behind the new movie being made almost 40 years after the original hit theaters. Steven Spielberg will produce, and Chris Columbus, who wrote the first film, will executive produce. No director is attached to the sequel yet. No plot details have been announced, and it's unclear if all or any of the original cast will return. It is 7:37. Your forecast is from the Weather Channel.
Lake effect snow once again with a lake effect snow warning. High wind warning too, so blowing snow, drifting snow, and significant travel trouble. Once these bands get organized, heavy snowfall at times. In some spots, we could see an additional 6 to 12 inches. Elsewhere, maybe 12 to 20-plus inches where the heaviest bands set up. Temperatures will be in the low 20s. Some of the winds could gust to 50 miles per hour. Another few inches of snow tonight and tomorrow. I'm meteorologist Ray Stidgick at the Weather Channel, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, we're at 13 degrees. Feels like 6 below with that wind. It is 7:38.
All right, Davey, what caller number are we looking for when it comes to Hobica's free money question of the day?
Caller 5.
All right, fifth caller right now. We'll get right to it. Your chance to win $150 at 315-736-0186. Caller number 5 right now. And then we'll get into this story in New Hartford where someone stole, allegedly, 2 leather jackets from Forever Leather. And then they ended up down the road being arrested. How did that arrest happen? It's an amazing story, and we're going to have it for you coming up at WIBX.
When you need surgery, you want a remarkable surgeon you can trust. Meet Dr. Patrick Moda, one of Bassett's newest general surgeons. He and the Bassett team have expertise in advanced surgical procedures, including minimally invasive and robotic surgeries. Dr. Moda is welcoming new patients in Cooperstown, Little Falls, and Oneonta. Choose Dr. Moda, a remarkable Bassett surgeon, and discover a team you can trust. Visit bassett.org/remarkable surgeons to learn more.
The Potting Shed Antiques in Whitesboro is buying silver, gold, gold-filled, vintage costume, estate jewelry, and U.S. and Canadian coins. They've been your hometown buyer for over 50 years. While other gold and silver buyers claim to offer the highest prices, the Potting Shed Antiques actually delivers. Let Don Hartman take a look at your individual pieces or your entire collection. The Potting Shed Antiques, open Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Please call ahead for an appointment. Visit thepottingshedantiques.com.
Welcome, John, our new admin lead.
Thanks.
You've got your laptop, all your admin apps. Oh, and you'll be in charge of ordering food for the team. So here's your drawer full of menus.
Whoa.
You'll keep your receipts in this file folder. Whoops! Receipt confetti.
Oh, dear.
Oh, and all these sticky notes have everyone's dietary preferences.
Have you tried Easy Cater? Online ordering from great restaurants, tools to save time and stay on budget, digital receipts in one place.
We're gonna need a bigger recycling bin.
Easy Cater, the smarter, simpler way to order food for your workplace. Order now at easycater.com.
William is one of millions of Americans who uses GoodRx to save on the cost of their prescriptions.
My oldest daughter, Camilla, 2 days old, she had to have open heart surgery. All of a sudden, she's on 5 different medications. It adds up at the end of the month. Me and the pharmacist got so tight. She said, GoodRx save you a lot of money. Saving that extra $200-300 a month. We're able to do all these extra activities, so it puts less stress on our household, and it puts less stress on our pockets.
Download the free app or visit GoodRx.com and start saving today. GoodRx user compensated for their time. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance.
Uncertainty, the unknown. These can be some of the greatest fears people face. There is a chance for a life of greater certainty that the Rome Rescue Mission provides. We call it a hand up, not a handout. The Rome Rescue Mission provides the basic necessities and the skills needed to start a new life. It starts simply with someone to talk to. Knowing that someone cares, the Rome Rescue Mission strives to meet basic needs, food, shelter, and clothing, but more importantly, provides emotional and spiritual support. The Rome Rescue Mission helps people start a new and promising life. Being in need is not a choice. Helping is. An unlimited future starts at the Rome Rescue Mission through your generous support. Make a difference and donate now. RomeMission.org. That's RomeMission.org. Rome Rescue Mission. A hand up, not a handout.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Hey, Andrew, what do we have? So Habakkuk's free money question of the day. It is worth $150 this morning. And who is our contestant this morning?
Well, it is Chris in Bridgewater.
All right, let me. Are you good with running it like this, Andrew?
Yes.
I think we got it here. I think we have it. Good morning, Chris in Bridgewater. How you doing?
Hold on. There we go. I'm doing 8 different thousand things.
Okay.
All right, Chris,
now,
you should be
when
on.
you look at me and say, how come you hit the wrong button? You look at me. Why'd you hit the wrong button?
I know there's so many buttons.
Now you know.
Chris,
you
can you hear us?
That YouTube camera. You got to.
I can
Hello,
hear
Chris.
you.
Good morning.
Morning,
How
Bill.
you doing,
How are
man?
you? I'm good.
Good. All All right, we're going to throw the question at you, and this is kind of a tough one. I'm trying to think of how I can make it easier. Well, it is what it is. It is what it is. All right, it involves the weather, though. I'll give you that clue. This comes involving the weather. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
This is for $150. The most snow ever to fall during a winter season happened during the winter of 1988 and 89. How much snow fell in the season? Ready, go.
83 inches.
Do it in feet.
Well, 83 inches would be, gosh, how many feet? I'm not too good with the math, Joe. You got to help us out.
Not enough. Not enough.
7
Not
feet,
enough.
almost.
See, I said this was a hard question. This happened in Mount Baker, Washington. You said 83 inches. The actual, if we want to do it in inches, I'll go with it. The actual in inches, believe it or not, during the season of 1988 and 89, in Washington's Mount Baker ski area, 1,140 inches of snow fell during that season. It is the world record for snowfall in a single season.
Wow.
It is a world record. Although I'm sure there's some place where they don't measure, where they got more. Why don't you measure? Because there's too much snow. We can't measure that.
We don't even want to go out of our house.
In feet, it was 95 feet. But I got to say, we're looking at some incredible numbers in terms of feet up along Tug Hill in that area. They've got some huge numbers this year, but not 95 feet. How'd you do in Bridgewater? You get a lot of snow there?
Oh, yeah, we're up to about 83 inches now.
Yeah. This is, it really is that old-fashioned type winter that we used to get, and it just seems like one storm after another, and then lake effect snow. It's just crazy. Okay, there you go. We're going to give you the all-in-one food and fun card. It is a $25 gift card, good at Aquavino, at Babe's, Taylor and the Cook, any of those restaurants, 72, The Odd, or at Nexus. So we really appreciate it. Stand by. Davey's going to hook you up.
Thanks, Bill. Appreciate it.
All right, man. Thank you. I feel bad because, Andrew, that is a very difficult question.
Yeah, I mean,
to pull
it's
out
near
of your
impossible. We must be low on the budget or something like that. We must be.
Well, I think I was looking for a snow question because of all the snow.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, sorry. It is actually a ski resort, Mount Baker Ski Area, in the state of Washington. All right, in studio right now is Joe Rakowski. Joe, good morning.
Good morning, Bill. Happy to be back.
Sorry I could not be in the studio with you, but it's just like we're all there together. No snow here, a lot of snow there. I feel like I'm in a better place.
Where is he?
All right,
New York City.
First of all, I'm in the city. So, although they do say snow is coming over the next couple of days, which will be nothing compared to what we're getting at home. So, Joe, I wanted to, first of all, before we get into this unbelievable story, if you could tell us where we are with the lease being confirmed. Are we in the process of still delaying? Is it on the schedule? What do we know?
Here's what we think, Bill. We think that Elise is going to stay in her congressional seat until Trump passes his tax bill, and that requires, as much of the majority as possible to be in the House. So that seems to be the delay. That's the talk in the circles with local politicians and the folks I know in Washington. Once she resigns, we have a race. And then you saw that bill was defeated in Albany to postpone it till the general election. So
actually,
that's good news.
It just was, the bill was just, I think they read the writing on the wall.
Pulled it.
And it just pulled. They pulled it, which is because they wanted to move this thing all the way to the general election in November. I had no idea they were trying to do that. It was ridiculous. So tell me where we are in the running. I mean, what you might know. As for those who don't know, Joe has thrown his hat into the race. Joe is a business person in Rome. He and his wife operate Mohawk Valley Materials, and technically his wife operates Mohawk Valley Materials. Joe does what he's told, which is what a good man should do. But you're in, and at one point there were like 25 people interested, but we've narrowed it down. Where are we currently? What can you tell us?
You're exactly right. There was over 20 candidates, and it's still the same situation. The county chairs have all the power to select this candidate, and they have a weighted vote based on the county's voting population. I believe that's correct. So the Republican chairs have to produce a candidate. As you see, lately the Democrats have a candidate that they voted unanimously for. So they're ready, right? Yeah. They're already running their race, and they're gaining momentum and raising money. The Republican chairs are still trying to come up with a process and a timing and a strategy. So where am I? I've been meeting with all the chairs consistently, and they've been very generous meeting with candidates. So and they're volunteers. I mentioned this last time I was on the radio. They don't get paid. So it's time consuming, and it's a lot of driving because the counties are all the way up to Essex County, Clinton County on the border, all the way down through the Catskills out to Oneida. So the key for the candidate is to convince the chairs that they're the right candidate. I believe that they're down to four valid candidates, and I believe I'm in that top four is where what I've been told.
I'm hearing that as well. That you're on the short list.
I'm on the short list. I was in Washington 2 weeks ago. I met with leadership. I met with Speaker Johnson's team. And, I believe my resume is floated around the White House, and it's very much in favor due to my background, military experience and law enforcement experience. And, our local business has become a large business in the government sector. So with the infrastructure work that we perform around the country, it gives me an advantage over some of the candidates just understanding how government works.
Yeah. All right, I want to talk about Saturday. Was it Saturday you were at the New Hartford Shopping Center at the barber shop?
Yeah, it was. I believe it was Saturday. It's today, Monday. Yeah.
Yes.
Saturday.
Today is Monday.
Yeah. So, interesting day for me.
By the way, this is an amazing. If you've seen the story of the man who was arrested for allegedly ripping off leather jackets from Charlie Seeley,
which is the real crime,
is that this is the part of the story you haven't heard yet. So only you can tell it, Joe.
So I was having lunch with my wife at the Grapevine. It's her favorite restaurant, and it was.
That's where you were.
Yeah, about 11:30, and I was facing the window, and I watched this guy walk by the window, and he just had a suspicious air about him, and again, just kind of coming from law enforcement background, he just caught my eye in a peculiar way. And I said, I don't know if that guy's up to any good. And we, about a half hour later, we finished lunch. We both drove there because I had to go get a haircut, and she had some shopping to do. And so she leaves, gets in her car, and I get in my car, and I drive to the other end of the plaza, down towards Ava Tools. I park, I get out, and I see the same guy walk in the same direction, but he went back to the end of the shopping plaza, and he's just got this look about him, and he's right in front of me. And I said, geez, I just saw this guy a half hour ago. Something's up with this guy. And he was all covered up. He had all kinds of coverings on his face. And I said, this doesn't look right. Because the weather was nice. So within seconds, I was about to walk into Gentleman's Corner, which I frequent a lot, and the guys know me there. So I go to put my hand on the door, and I see him very casually, unnoticeably pick off on the outside display rack 2 beautiful leather jackets, and they were really nice jackets because they caught my eye.
Was this at Charlie Seeley's place or another store?
No, it was right in front. He has a rack out in front, and
yeah, he does.
These jackets were just on display, and they weren't attached to the rack. So
he puts out a rack. You can when you're driving by, and it was Saturday was a decent day.
Yeah.
When you come on down, you got to have something you got to see. So that's what he does. He puts the rack on.
That's right. Come on down. All right. So you see something happening now.
Very nonchalantly. I think most bystanders would have missed it. This guy just grabbed it and put it in front of his person, and he timed it perfectly because the Metro bus was about 20 paces away with the door open, getting ready to leave. So it made me think, like, this is a timing thing, right? This guy knows what he's doing, and he's done this before.
Yeah.
Right.
This was no one-time thing. So as he grabs the jackets, and as a business owner, I know what it costs to replace stolen goods and to do things 2 and 3 times to make up for incidents and accidents, I like to call them. So in this case, it's a theft. So I yell, and I say, hey, and I forget what exactly I said, and he turns around, he sees me, and I'm coming.
Joe is running.
I am just very upset with this situation. This is not right. I think the criminals, are running the country some days. So as he steps on it, I step on it, and he gets on the bus. Right? I said, oh, geez, here we go. And I hear the bus brakes come off, and this bus is about to go. I said, man, this is impeccable timing. This guy really knows what he's doing. So I run up on the bus. And yell again. The driver looks at me. His eyes are as wide as a saucer. He doesn't know who I am or what kind of trouble I'm causing.
Right. He might be looking at you as the crazy person.
I kind of look crazy sometimes. Ask my family. So I get on the bus, and the guy turns, and he knows I'm coming. So he turns around. He looks at me, and I grab him by the jacket, a big puffy jacket on, and I pull him off the bus. With the minimal amount of force.
Wow.
And he we're face to face, nose to nose, right? I tell him, I said, you're getting arrested. I said, you stole this. Everybody's looking at me like I'm nuts. I don't know who. Maybe somebody's going to jump on me. They think I'm the bad guy. I don't know. So he drops the jackets, and there's a little bit of a tussle. And I realize that I am not 25 years old anymore, and I don't do this for a living anymore. So I decide, okay, this, the juice isn't worth the squeeze here, and I don't want to get jammed up and maybe get arrested myself for an assault.
Right.
So he takes off, and he's heading back down towards the Grapevine, and I start to follow him, and I realize that, he's younger and faster than I am. But we got the jackets back. Another bystander saw the whole thing and understood what was going on. So he picked up the jackets, unbeknownst to me at the time. He ran them back to the store, so they got their merchandise back. So I tail the guy as far as I can, all the way down the end of the store and kind of around the corner into the neighborhood. At the same time, I'm on 911, and I'm calling in. I called 911 and told the call taker, there's a crime in progress. And surprisingly, she said, it was a woman. She says, well, there's nothing we can do because you don't own the store. And I was very to the point. I said, I want a car here now. Get a car coming. So New Hartford police, they responded within minutes. I was surprised because there was a little bit of a delay time with dispatching, because I worked in the industry, they got to dispatch a car. So immediately, I'm going to say 4 or 5 minutes, I see the New Hartford cruiser coming and waved him down. And I said, I called, and he says, yeah, I got you. And he says, I got to run. So I was like, what's going on here? This guy usually they take a report and say, take a few minutes to get information. So he takes off. I said, boy, there's not much chance of catching this guy. I pretty much thought it was a done deal, and I went and sat down in the barber chair. So the boys are like, hey, we saw you yelling. What was that all about? So, of course, the barber shop's full, and I don't know if you've ever been in there. It's like going to a bar, and everybody, there's a lot of camaraderie in there when they're,
yes.
It's a fun place to get a haircut. So I tell the story, and the funny part about it was someone in there, because both my boys played for Gary Heenan hockey, so it almost seems like all the hockey players go there. Someone knew who I was. I didn't know they were in there, and as I'm getting a shave, the police department shows up. 2 officers come into the barbershop, and they're looking around, and everybody's kind of taken by surprise, like, uh-oh, what's going on here?
They don't know to protect you or to whatever.
No one knows what's going on. And
there's no Joe here.
Based on the way the world is today, it's a wonder they didn't have to come in and arrest you.
I thought that when I was going
the guy over.
I said, well, I unlawfully detained a criminal who's got more rights than we do. So so the police walked in, and I gave them a wave, and they go, are you Joe? And I said, yeah. They said, we need you outside. And I thought, right now I'm getting a shave,
Yeah.
So I walked outside, and in the car they had the perpetrator, and I had to make a positive ID. And I just let him know. I said, listen, I did your job for a living. Happy to help. Full report. I'm not afraid to make a report. And so later on, after I got done with my shave and a haircut, I ran next door to Ava Tulo's, my other favorite place over at the shopping center, and did a little business there. And Charlie was in there.
Oh, was he?
So Bob, the owner, is talking to me about. Go ahead.
Full circle.
Yeah.
Now I'm just saying. Now it becomes a crazy story.
It's a crazy story. So
Charlie's in there.
Charlie's in there. I'm talking to Bob, and Charlie turns around and he goes, "Where did this happen?" I said, at the leather shop 2 doors down. He goes, that's my place. So he was all excited. I believe he followed up with the police department and pressed the charges because that's important. People don't realize these are not victimless crimes. You know, if you don't want to do anything, that's rewarding bad behavior, and that person's going to go out and do it again and again and again. So it's a team effort. So he did the right thing. I got called to the police department. About an hour later, I went up there and met with the sergeant, and those guys were great. And so what happened was they responded quickly. They got around into the local neighborhood. I gave a solid description, and they were able to track him down. And I believe it was a foot pursuit. And the guy took off and ran. And the icing on the cake with this story is I asked the sergeant, I said, well, what happens to the guy now? Is this like catch and release, you know, with this liberal bail system that we have now? And he says, well, he said, normally, yeah, but he's an absconder. He's actually wanted. So we got a wanted guy off the street.
Yeah.
That's
awesome. You got a wanted guy off the street. Yeah, there were two warrants out for this guy. So what a great ending. Okay, it's over. Let's just put you in a Lee Stefanik seat. I think it's done. This event closes the deal. Yep. Sorry, everybody else. This is it. So, Joe, a great story. And, you know, the warning would be to everybody. Not everybody has police experience. Be careful. You don't know if somebody might have a gun or a knife or something. But you have that police experience, and you did your good deed for the weekend. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, thank you, Bill. Thanks for having me on the show.
All right. Thank you so much. We'll do a little something on this and post the audio on this story later on because it is really a great story. All right. Andrew has an update on there are some closings and delays, despite the fact that everything's closed today because of a holiday. There are some delays and closings, and we'll have those along with the full forecast, which is coming right up. We have news starting with Fox, which is next here on Monday morning on WIBX.
From the Stanley Theater Studios, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
500 days. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That is how long it's been now since Hamas's terror attack triggered the war in Gaza. A ceasefire is in place. Some hostages have been freed. Moshe Levi tells Fox he hopes his brother-in-law will be released.
But we also know that we're dealing with a terrorist organization that is going to put hurdles for the second phase of the deal, in which Umri is supposed to be included.
Trump Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff is in talks on that and tells Fox.
Phase 2 is a little bit more complicated than Phase 1. But Phase 2 is absolutely going to begin.
Now, tomorrow, Witkoff will be in Saudi Arabia, joining Secretary of State Marco Rubio in talks with Russia about Ukraine. President Trump says he thinks Russian leader Vladimir Putin wants the war over.
I think he wants to stop. That was my question to him. Because if he's going to go on, that would have been a big problem for us.
Ukraine's leader says they won't accept any agreement if he is not directly involved in talks with Russia.
It's not clear what role Kyiv will have in the peace talks, but Rubio said on Sunday Ukraine will be part of real negotiations if peace talks advance. A Ukrainian delegation is in Saudi Arabia to pave the way for a possible visit by Ukrainian President Zelensky.
Fox's Ashley Strohmeyer. European leaders are meeting today. They're also concerned about being left out of the Russia-U.S. talks, and they'll discuss possibly sending troops to Ukraine after a ceasefire. President Trump is asking the Supreme Court to uphold one of his many layoffs as he makes big federal cutbacks.
The administration wants permission to fire the head of the federal agency that protects whistleblowers, a guy named Hampton Dellinger. Former President Joe Biden appointed Dellinger to the Office of the Special Counsel. It's a watchdog office that enforces workforce protections for federal employees. And he's arguing that he can only be dismissed for job performance issues, according to the law.
Fox's Jackie Heinrich at the White House. The president went to the Daytona 500 and did a lap in his limo, telling drivers,
I just want you to be safe. You're talented people.
William Byron won NASCAR's most famous race. America's listening to Fox News.
Seems everything costs more these days. Gas, groceries, and when's the last time you checked your wireless bill? Yikes. When it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get the same fast, reliable nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill. Plans start at just $20 a month, and that's not a short-term promo. But don't just take our word for it. Here's Jackie and Veronica, real customers.
I didn't know that I could get something for a lot less money that was actually better than who I was with before.
Anytime anybody complains about their cell phone bill, we say, you've got to check out Consumer Cellular.
Our U.S.-based experts will get you switched and saving in about 20 minutes. Just call or click to see how much you can save today. Because when it comes to big wireless, if you're staying, you may be overpaying. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com. That's 1-888-FREEDOM or consumercellular.com today. Real people paid to share their opinions in this ad. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing.
There are a lot of areas underwater, from Virginia to Tennessee to Kentucky, where the flooding disaster is the worst, with 9 people dead.
FEMA is coordinating relief efforts after the latest round of severe weather dumped as much as 6 inches of rain in parts of Kentucky and Tennessee. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear said on Sunday that the deaths included a mother and 7-year-old child.
So many of these fatalities were due to attempts to drive through water and through moving water.
President Trump approved Kentucky's request for a disaster declaration. One person was killed when a tree fell on a home in Atlanta, and a levee failed in a small community in Obion County, Tennessee, just north of Memphis, leaving homes and cars flooded and prompting water rescues. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
There is wintry weather, too. Extreme cold warnings are in place in much of the Midwest. It's 27 below zero now in Minot, North Dakota. There are also storm warnings or advisories from Washington State to Missouri, into Oklahoma and Arkansas, and there are more than 450 flights canceled, more than 1,100 delays. That is better than yesterday when FlightAware reported 1,800 plus cancellations. More than 10,000 flights were delayed. A lot of Americans have the day off.
Thanks to George Washington's birthday, which fell on February 22nd. It was first recognized formally as a national holiday in 1879, though it had been celebrated for nearly 100 years at that point in some fashion. In 1968, Congress passed a rule designating many holidays to just be on a Monday, like Labor Day and Memorial Day. There was a proposal to fold in Abraham Lincoln's birthday to President's Day, as his was February 12th, but lawmakers from Washington's home state of Virginia protested, so that was dropped, though several states do acknowledge multiple presidents on this day, including Lincoln's. Each year around this time, a member of the Senate reads Washington's farewell address, and tomorrow the honor will go to Roger Wicker of Mississippi. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
And because of President's Day, the stock market will be closed. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM News Time, 8:05. I'm Andrew Dermenio. Right now, we have 14 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Lake effect snow warning sticking around for quite some time. Feels like 5 below with the wind chill. Your full weather forecast is coming up. The National Weather Service issuing high wind and lake effect snow warnings that cover multiple counties. Some gusts may reach 60 miles per hour, triggering the possibility of power outages because of snow and ice that has already fallen on trees and power lines. Travel could also be difficult, especially for larger vehicles like tractor trailers. An incarcerated individual at the Oneida County Correctional Facility was found unresponsive on Monday afternoon. Sheriff Rob Maciel says medical staff and emergency responders attempted life-saving measures, but the man was pronounced dead at Wynn Hospital in Utica. His identity is being withheld pending family notification. The sheriff's office, along with state authorities, are conducting a full investigation as required for in-custody deaths. Further details will be released as they become available. A Rome man was arrested Friday morning after allegedly stabbing his nephew during a domestic dispute. Police say officers responded to 305 East Dominic Street at 7:08 in the morning, where they found a 31-year-old man with a puncture wound to his back. The victim identified his uncle, John Young, as the attacker and was transported to a hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Young was taken into custody, processed at the Rome Police Department, and arraigned in Rome City Court before being remanded to Oneida County Jail. He faces charges of second-degree assault and third-degree criminal possession of a weapon. Drivers who use Easy Pass to pay their tolls are being warned about an ongoing scam. Officials say people have reported getting text messages from an international number that appears to be an attempt to collect tolls. A link is then sent that directs recipients to a website that looks to be legitimate, but it's not. Neither Easy Pass or tolls by mail will ask for personal information like Social Security or credit card numbers by phone or text. Anyone who gets this message should delete it. Central New York motorists aren't seeing much of a change in the price of gas when it comes time to fill up. AAA says the average cost for a gallon of regular fuel in the Utica-Rome area is $3.34. That's up a penny from last week, but is 3 cents more than this time a month ago. Currently, the state average sits at $3.17 a gallon, while nationally it's $3.16. And the average price of a dozen grade A large eggs has cracked a new record. The Consumer Price Index for January 2025 shows that grade A eggs nationwide cost $4.95, which is 13 cents more than the prior record of $4.82. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the previous record was set in January of 2023. The average price for a dozen eggs has increased 80 cents from December to January. Egg prices have not been under $3 a dozen since June of 2024, when they were $2.72. It is 8:08. Here's your forecast from the Weather Channel.
Lake effect snow once again with a lake effect snow warning. High wind warning too, so blowing snow, drifting snow, and significant travel trouble. Once these bands get organized, heavy snowfall at times. In some spots, we could see an additional 6 to 12 inches. Elsewhere, maybe 12 to 20-plus inches where the heaviest bands set up. Temperatures will be in the low 20s. Some of the winds could gust to 50 miles per hour. Another few inches of snow tonight and tomorrow. I'm meteorologist Ray Stijik at the Weather Channel, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, 13 degrees under cloudy skies. Feels like 6 below. It is 8:09. In sports, Team Shaq took down Team Chuck 41-25 to win the 2025 NBA All-Star Game at Chase Center. Jason Tatum led all scorers with 15 points in the championship game. Steph Curry was named MVP after combining for 20 points on the night. 3 countries are still vying for a spot in the Four Nations face-off final. The U.S. clinched a berth in Thursday's championship game with a 3-1 win over Canada. On Saturday, round-robin play will wrap up on Monday with Canada taking on Finland and the U.S. facing Sweden. The Yankees could be without one of their big sluggers for the start of the season. Manager Aaron Boone said Sunday that it is, quote, tough to say, end quote, if Giancarlo Stanton will be available for opening day on March 27th against the Milwaukee Brewers. Stanton is still dealing with tendonitis in both elbows, something he had to play through last season. Boone was not willing to put a timeline on Stanton's return, but did say that he expects him to be okay. New York begins Grapefruit League play Friday afternoon when they host the Tampa Bay Rays at its facility in Tampa. The Mets' newest star has officially reported to spring training after agreeing to a 15-year, $765 million deal as a free agent. Juan Soto is ready to get to work. Soto has already played for 3 different organizations and said he's really happy to know where he is going to be for the future. The 26-year-old spent his first day at the facility in Port St. Lucie talking to his manager, stretching with his teammates, participating in batting practice, giving his family all free memorabilia and cotton candy. New York begins Grapefruit League play Saturday afternoon when they host the Houston Astros. What else do we have for you? The Syracuse Orange, they're absolutely pathetic. They've lost 3 of their last 4 games. They're now 11-15 on the season. They'll visit Pitt tomorrow night, and then, as Davey says, they'll be off for the week. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time is 8:11. I want to tell you that if you're dealing with debilitating injuries to any area of the body, maybe some inflammation, you'll want to call Dr. Tim Delmedico and his staff at Revive Soft Wave Therapy. You can get all the contact information you need at reviveutica.com. That's where you'll find testimonial videos, research that went into this technology that was developed in Europe and has been used there for 20 years. It's fairly new to the U.S., but commonly treated conditions include plantar fasciitis, knee pain, back and neck pain, frozen shoulder, TMJ, carpal tunnel, neuropathy, sciatica, and foot and ankle pain. That's what I was dealing with around this time last year. I ran a half marathon I had no business running. I finished, but with that crossing of the finish line came excruciating foot and ankle injury pain and inflammation. After just 6 visits with Dr. Tim and his team, my pain went from an 8 to a 0. The pain was gone. Many professional athletes, we're getting into spring training for baseball season. Many Major League Baseball teams have this technology in their locker rooms and use it regularly. Why pay $10,000 plus for stem cell injection therapy when you can mobilize and use your own? That's how this technology works. For more information, go to reviveutica.com. That's reviveutica.com. ReviveUtica.com. Let the healing begin with Revive Softwave Therapy on Genesee Street in Utica, now with locations in Syracuse and Albany.
Every once in a while, something that sounds too good to be true is actually, in fact, true. How would you like up to $4,000 of free windows? And when I say $4,000 of free windows, I mean $4,000 of free windows. No gimmicks or games. You don't have to buy $4,000 to get $4,000 free. You just get up to $4,000 of free windows through Patriot Home Solutions and NYSERDA. Of course, some restrictions apply, but none of these restrictions are income-based, and you don't have to sit through a long, drawn-out sales presentation. Give Patriot a call at 315-401-0440, and they can quickly tell you over the phone if you qualify or how you can get qualified. That's 315-401-0440. These aren't any windows. They're high-quality, custom-fitted windows designed to save energy and keep the cold air out all winter. Your window solution is Patriot Home Solutions. Online at patriothomesolutions.com.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to goodrx.com/GLP. That's goodrx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
The snow isn't stopping anytime soon, and that means you're taking your car to get washed over and over again to get all that salt off. But how would you like $100 in free car washes? It's WIBX's Snowmageddon 2025 contest. All you need to do is send us your snow photos on the WIBX mobile app, and the person who sends in the best one wins $100 in free car washes. We want to see photos of your snowbanks, drifts, snowmen, whatever shows off your crazy snow totals, and it could win you $100 in Hoffman's car washes. Winner will be picked Friday on Keeler. See the WIBX website for details.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Okay, here we go. Final hour of the morning, for us anyway. And so, Andrew, the snow continues to come down. And it will for the next couple of days, is what they're telling us.
Yeah, I mean that's that winter
on the way.
That lake effect snow warning is in effect until I think Wednesday at some time. I'll have to get the exact time.
Yeah,
but that's going to be sticking around to Wednesday. I think you should just anticipate that winter storms, blowing snow, lake effect snow will continue for the foreseeable future. Unfortunately.
Yeah. It looks a little quieter right now. But again, it could be snowing in Marcy and not snowing in Utica. I mean, it's that type of very localized snow squalls. Although when you look at this snow squall band, this lake effect band, it seems large and it just seems to be going over our area and stalling.
Yeah, and they're very isolated, these bands. That's been the kind of the case the whole winter. As you said, it may be heavy snow in one area and absolutely nothing in another. So,
however, wind and cold getting into it doesn't make it any easier. It is what it is. So enjoy it. The wind causing drifting and visibility issues. Saturday Night Live was celebrating its 50th last night. We'll get into a little bit of that. And before you know it, Andrew, we're going to be talking about the Masters.
That's right. That is correct. It's always a sign that spring is and warmer weather is approaching.
Thomas Goodell is a young golfer who is going to be competing at the Augusta Drive, Chip, and Putt National Finals. And he's on the line right now. Tom, good morning.
Good morning.
Can I call you Tom, or is it Thomas? You like to stay with Thomas?
Probably Tommy.
Yeah, Tommy.
Tommy.
Oh, there you go.
Cool.
That's a good golfer name. I can hear Tommy winning the green jacket at some point.
Yeah.
So, well, listen, anything can happen. So tell us your story.
Yeah.
This is really cool.
So this is my 5th year in the drive, chip, and putt, and I always just wanted to go to Augusta, just watching it on TV. And it was just really cool watching, like, kids being able to compete at Augusta because, it's only, like, used for the tour players. And I just wanted to go to Augusta. And 2 years ago, I got second place at the regionals. So I almost made it. And then this year, I won the regionals. So now I'm able to go to Augusta.
That's awesome.
That is.
Yep.
Yeah, that is awesome. And so for you, this is just this is a dream come true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When did you Tommy, when did you start golfing?
Go ahead.
I started playing at around the age of 5 with my dad.
And you're obviously, is this something you want to do? Obviously, in high school, and what you're doing in Augusta is just as we said, a dream come true. But what are your plans for the future? What do you think you're going to do going forward?
I want to play golf in college for sure, and we'll see what happens from there.
Do you have any?
And what grade are you in now?
Oh, sorry.
I'm in 9th grade.
9th grade. Okay, so you got a long ways to go, although that goes very quickly. Andrew?
Well, I'd have to imagine, too, that with already some of the notoriety or the things that you've done, you have to be on some of the college radars as far as teams looking into possibly recruiting you. Have you had anybody reach out, or do you have anybody in mind?
This certainly helps.
I'd probably want to go like somewhere down south, but
you don't
coaches can't start talking to you for like another year.
Okay, all right. Well, all the southern schools, you got a good shot of landing Tommy here.
Well, and I got to tell you, in so many different sports, it's very difficult living where we live because it does restrict how often you can be out there playing your sport. And we have some really cool indoor facilities, but it's just not the same.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, listen, we want to congratulate you. Will this be available for us to watch?
Yeah, it'll be on the Golf Channel.
All right, so it'll be on the Golf Network.
All right, cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. We'll be watching. And what are the dates, by the way?
April 6th, the week before the Masters.
Okay. All right. Got it.
It's very exciting.
For us, we look to the Masters every year because it means springtime is coming. But I'm not sure. The way things have been, it might not mean that up here. We may be dealing with winter right up until May. I don't know.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
Anyway, awesome. Congratulations, and we'll keep an eye on you. We really appreciate you calling in this morning.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on the show.
All right. Enjoy the week off.
Yeah, it's a good week off. It's a perfect week to stay in and stay hibernating.
Yeah.
All right, Tommy.
Yep. All right. Listen, thank you, Tommy. Listen, I got to tell you, Andrew.
Yeah.
This kid's good, but I really think I'm better. Sometimes I dream at night I am just pulling off the most amazing golf game. And then when I get out there, I spend all of my time. I can never play that amazing game because I'm spending all of my time trying to find my ball in the woods.
Well, you're building handicap. You're building handicaps so that you can actually compete with someone like Tommy and maybe have a chance.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm being sarcastic. Today, I don't know if you know this, but I know that Joe Rakowski does. He celebrated a little bit early, but today is National Random Acts of Kindness Day.
How wonderful.
And I even have, do I have some audio? I even have a little audio to go along with it. Here we go.
You want to know how to change the world, son? One act of random kindness at a time.
Okay, sorry, that's all I had.
Oh,
Can I hear it again?
Yeah, please. It was a little low before.
I don't know. It's not playing. How about this story in Michigan? A man in Michigan says he and his friends are lucky to be alive after a snowmobiling accident where his friend's snowmobile cracked the ice on a lake.
Oh, my gosh.
And he sank into it.
Oh, man.
His name is Frederick Espy, talking about surviving that crack and going through the ice into the water.
We were going to go for a ride on the lake. We got kind of disoriented when my friend took off. He got about 30 yards ahead of me, and he just sank. He had his hand out, and I grabbed his hand, and so I went in. I had to make that choice, either stay and help him until we both die, or go and get help and have him hold on, and he held on. I had to go get help. So I just told him to hang on to the side, and I'll be back. But thank you to the rescue guys, the ambulance people. They were fabulous. If you're going to have fun in snowmobile, stay on land.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good
well,
point.
And the thing is, you never know. And we still have, over the weekend, had warmer weather. You never know when there's a current underneath. And if there's a current underneath, there's a very good chance that ice is very, very thin.
Well, and it depends on.
You just have to be.
It depends on the body of water too. I mean, if you look down, you're going down the arterial. Yeah, you know, some of the canals. It looks like there's areas that just haven't frozen yet.
Right, and some of that has a lot to do with current. So you never know what's underneath there and what might be causing the ice to be thin. It just. Yet I see people, you know, that know what they're doing out there on Oneida Lake or Canandaigua Lake or whatever lake, ice fishing this year. A lot of ice fishing going on. And this past weekend, it was free fishing weekend.
That's right.
As a matter of fact.
One of several throughout
the year. By the way,
I'm
told Tommy also has won national awards. This kid is one to really keep an eye on. He's also won national awards for free throwing. Perhaps you can give lessons to SU, which can't seem to make a foul shot if their life depended on it. I don't know if you realize this, but we are now at war with Canada.
We are. Wow.
It was official over the weekend. Are you watching some of this?
I am. It's the booing of the anthems and the fighting, and a lot of people say, you know, the Major League Baseball All-Star Game has gotten soft. The Pro Bowl is a shell of itself and a borderline embarrassment. Even you had the NBA All-Star Game. The final score was 41-25. I mean, that must just be guys kind of you know bouncing. Not this Four Nations tournament. I mean, they're really going at it.
This Four Nations face-off. So, hockey fans hoping for fights on the ice got their fill on Saturday night with 3. And I was watching some of this. 3 happening as soon as the puck dropped. It was like 6 seconds into the game, and there had already been a couple of fights. But it all began with, you know, it's this battle between Trump and Canada, and now the Canadians are like, every time the national anthem, the American national anthem is played, they begin to boo. And the puck gets dropped right after the booing. All of a sudden, boom. The gloves came off, and the fighting began. Here's some audio from that on Saturday.
And the gloves are off. Hagel from Tampa Bay, Kachuk from Florida did not see this coming. Both sides said they hoped it wouldn't happen tonight. It did. It's helped set the tone. Charlie McAvoy put one on net. Now we're 9 seconds in. We had a fight 2 seconds in, another one 1 second later. Now in the center of the action, it's Colton Parayko and JT Miller.
This is like 1996 when this building opened up with the World Cup.
Wow, I love it.
By the way, Canada retained its independence. I believe over the weekend. What was the final score of the game?
Well,
on the ice?
No, 3-1 USA. Beat them at their own game.
Oh, okay. All right,
Davey.
So some of that fighting offset the thing. So now Canada is our 51st state. I think it was decided over the weekend. It's a done deal.
So these two powerhouses can meet again on Thursday night in the finals. The U.S. has already guaranteed a spot in the finals on Thursday with the victory over Canada. So Canada and U.S. could be round 2 on Thursday night.
It'll be an onslaught.
Wow.
Somebody will take off their skate if it continues.
I'm really feeling that way. And then one more on a random act of kindness day here today. A high school student in Massachusetts is on a mission to teach life-saving CPR skills to her entire community. In fact, Madeline Jackman created a program where she teaches restaurant employees how to do CPR. A lot of this time a lot of times we see the choking incidents occur in restaurants. Here's Madeline explaining why she does this, and a restaurant employee talking about how much she has learned.
When I was 8 years old, I was out for dinner, and then I started choking on steak. And no one in my family knew CPR or the Heimlich, and no one could help me. Luckily, there was someone at the restaurant who was a nurse and knew CPR and saved my life.
So I've worked at restaurants in Newburyport where people have either choked or passed out from heat exhaustion or just been overwhelmed and needed to sit down. And having the actual tools in my tool belt now to be able to assess the situation and see if someone needs help, I feel like we'll really go that extra mile.
Well, there you go. A nice little deed here to talk about on National Random Acts of Kindness Day, which is today.
You want to know how to change the world, son? One act of random kindness at a time.
Okay, there you go. Now that clip played, Andrew.
There you go.
Now it played. And I have to tell you, on our way down to New York, we decided to take the train. And normally, Andrew, however you do it, some people will come out of Utica.
Yeah.
Others will go to, where is that in Albany?
Rensselaer.
Rensselaer. They'll go to Rensselaer, and then others will go down to Poughkeepsie and take the metro train in, right?
Yes,
I think is what you do.
Yeah, it's good for a weekend trip because they do not charge you to park at the Poughkeepsie station on the weekends. So if you're doing just a weekend trip, you can take the drive down to Poughkeepsie and take the Metro North in, and there you go. It takes you right into Grand Central.
And I got to tell you, for us driving in on Friday, we were in the middle of we had all of this snow going on, and it was the lake effect was continuing through a good part of most of the day on Friday. So taking a train was a great idea, and we found that going in there were no delays. It was quick. Everything was fine right up until we pulled up to Moynihan Station in New York. That's the new train station. And so we're coming in about 10 minutes early, and I said to my wife, this is great because we're going to be able to meet up with friends and family, and we'll be able to get a quick dinner and hang out tonight because we're in early. And all of a sudden, the train came to a stop. Now, we are less than 2 minutes out of the train station at Moynihan. So if you've ever gone down through there, you're already going into the tunnel. So as you go into the tunnel, now you know, get your stuff ready because within a minute and a half, we're going to be disembarking and getting off the train. So all of a sudden, right about in that spot where you go into the tunnel, the train stopped. And ladies and gentlemen, nothing to worry about. Just please stand by. We just have a couple of minutes. Seems like there is a signaling issue or a signaling outage. And I Googled that, and I found out that's the big thing in the Northeast Corridor that Amtrak has a problem with, a signaling issue. We should be just a couple of minutes. Now, this is 8:50 p.m. on Friday, and a couple of minutes turned into about a half an hour later, she came on and said, I think we're almost there. I believe we're almost there, and they'll be letting us go. It's a power outage that's causing the signaling issue. We're going to be good. Andrew, it was over 90 minutes.
Yeah, that is
sitting there.
I would have gotten out off the train.
You couldn't because the we're in the tunnel. And there was nowhere to because I was thinking about it. I'm like, we'll take our bags. We'll just walk because you're 90 seconds from the terminal. You're almost there. They could creep in. But because of this outage, we had to sit there, and it was over 90 minutes. So by the time we ended up, we're looking at like 10:30 by the time we even got off the train, and it was what it was.
Ugh.
So that was that experience. But again, you're on the. It's not like you're. Luckily, it's wintertime. There was still heat on the train.
Yeah, that's good.
You were still warm. It wasn't like you were on an airplane on a tarmac when it's 110 degrees out, where you're sitting there for 90 minutes. That stuff happens too.
All the
but
time.
In this case, I don't know what the power outage was, but after about almost 100 minutes, we crawled into the station and everybody got out. And then, of course, crawling through traffic on a Friday night in New York City. Not easy either, especially with all the SNL celebrity stuff going on. Traffic was really, really tight. Nonetheless, here we are today, and the snow coming down. Depending on where you are, it's supposed to continue through Wednesday. Andrew has an update on the news, and then we'll give you the full forecast as to where we are. Coming up also, Samantha Colosimo Testa has been talking about a debate between her and Katie Aiello. We'll give you an update with that with Sam coming right up at WIBX.
BME Company Business Machines and Equipment has been delivering office solutions for businesses in upstate New York for over 30 years. Their success comes from finding the right document management strategies and software solutions for streamlining workflows. Simply put, BME provides fast, reliable service at the best value to keep your business running smoothly. Through BME's strategic partnership with Hummel's Office Plus, they distribute supplies for just about every machine in your office at a great price. BME welcomes the opportunity to serve your business, selling, leasing, and service in Canon and Kyocera devices, as well as FP mailing solutions. An important part of BME's culture is supporting the communities they're fortunate to work in, and BME recognizes that support is one reason for their success. The future of business in BME's area is encouraging, and the company is grateful to be a part of that growth. BME Company Office Solutions, made simple.
Welcome, John, our new admin lead.
Thanks.
You've got your laptop, all your admin apps. Oh, and you'll be in charge of ordering food for the team. So here's your drawer full of menus.
Whoa.
You'll keep your receipts in this file folder. Whoops! Receipt confetti.
Oh, dear.
Oh, and all these sticky notes have everyone's dietary preferences.
Have you tried EasyCater? Online ordering from great restaurants, tools to save time and stay on budget, digital receipts in one place.
We're gonna need a bigger recycling bin.
EasyCater, the smarter, simpler way to order food for your workplace. Order now at easycater.com.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to goodrx.com/GLP. That's goodrx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM News Time, 8:35. I'm Andrew Dominio. Right now, moderately calm, if you can say that, in Marcy. 15 degrees under cloudy skies. Feels like 6 below with the wind. Your full weather forecast is coming up. The National Weather Service issuing high wind and lake effect snow warnings that cover multiple counties. Some gusts may reach 60 miles per hour, triggering the possibility of power outages because of snow and ice that has already fallen on trees and power lines. Travel could also be difficult, especially for larger vehicles like tractor trailers. An incarcerated individual at the Oneida County Correctional Facility was found unresponsive in his cell Monday afternoon. Sheriff Rob Mashiel says medical staff and emergency responders attempted life-saving measures, but the man was pronounced dead at Wynn Hospital in Utica. His identity is being withheld pending family notification. The sheriff's office, along with state authorities, is conducting a full investigation as required for in-custody deaths. For further details will be released as they become available. A Rome man was arrested Friday morning after allegedly stabbing his nephew during a domestic dispute. Police say officers responded to 305 East Dominic Street at 7:08 in the morning, where they found a 31-year-old man with a puncture wound to his back. The victim identified his uncle, John Young, as the attacker and was transported to a hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Young was taken into custody, processed at the Rome Police Department, and arraigned in Rome City Court before being remanded to Oneida County Jail. He faces charges of second-degree assault and third-degree criminal possession of a weapon. An Oswego County man is behind bars after being arrested in connection with a deadly shooting. Deputies say 31-year-old Zachary Chilson opened fire in the parking lot of the Tops Friendly Market store on Main Street in Mexico Saturday. The shooting was the result of a fight Chilson was in with the victim, 32-year-old Jacob Walsh, who ended up passing away at the scene. Chilson was arraigned yesterday on a murder charge. And a Newport Beach 16-year-old has started a company to help detect wildfires. Sensors being installed in Irvine on Monday will use smart technology to monitor smoke and heat that quickly alert firefighters to any fires in the area. Ryan Honery has been widely recognized in his efforts in detecting wildfires using AI. He was first inspired in 5th grade during the 2018 Camp Fire, which claimed 85 lives and burned over 150,000 acres in Butte County. His work has received support from the Orange County Fire Authority, helping him make a deployable product. Since starting Sensory AI, Honery has also secured funding from the Irvine Ranch Conservancy. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time, 8:38. Here's your forecast.
Lake effect snow once again with a lake effect snow warning. High wind warning too, so blowing snow, drifting snow, and significant travel trouble. Once these bands get organized, heavy snowfall at times. In some spots, we could see an additional 6 to 12 inches. Elsewhere, maybe 12 to 20 plus inches where the heaviest bands set up. Temperatures will be in the low 20s. Some of the winds could gust to 50 miles per hour. Another few inches of snow tonight and tomorrow. I'm meteorologist Ray Stijik at the Weather Channel, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Right now, we're at 14 degrees, feels a lot colder. 6 below is the feel-like temp. It is 8:39.
All right, Andrew, I got to tell you that Ricky Z at Steve Ponte Mazda reminds you that the new Mazda new sales event is continuing into February. And they've increased their inventory with over 150 new Mazdas available. Save on a new Mazda lease or enjoy 0.9% APR financing on new 2025 Mazda CX-30s, CX-5s, CX-50s, 70s, or CX-90s. See the dealership for details. And I just love the service we receive there, the treatment you get during the sale, after the sale. When it comes to service, they really, really take care of you. So Rick says, come on in and let's make your deal on a new Mazda. From the dealership that's achieved first place nationally in customer satisfaction, Steve Ponte Mazda, Commercial Drive in Yorkville. Coming up, we'll speak with Sheriff Rob Mashel. We'll give you an update on that Katie Aiello, Samantha Colosimo Testa issue. A little update on that coming up. And as I said, Sheriff Mashel on that unfortunate, sad death that occurred at the Oneida County Jail. We'll explain and see where we are going into this Monday morning. Coming up at WIBX.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to GoodRx.com/GLP. That's GoodRx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Welcome, John, our new admin lead.
Thanks.
You've got your laptop, all your admin apps. Oh, and you'll be in charge of ordering food for the team. So here's your drawer full of menus.
Whoa.
You'll keep your receipts in this file folder. Whoops! Receipt confetti.
Oh, dear.
Oh, and all these sticky notes have everyone's dietary preferences.
Have you tried EasyCater? Online ordering from great restaurants, tools to save time and stay on budget, digital receipts in one place.
We're gonna need a bigger recycling bin.
EasyCater, the smarter, simpler way to order food for your workplace. Order now at easycater.com.
Are you a CDPAP home care user or caregiver? Now's the time to switch to PPL and ensure a smooth transition. It's fast and easy. Over the phone, online, at an in-person or virtual session, or with a CDPAP facilitator. Call PPL at 833-247-5346. That's 833-247-5346. Visit pplfirst.com/CDPAP. Register today. A message from the New York State Health Department.
At Steve Ponte Chevy in Herkimer, we'd like to thank our first responders, active military, and veterans,
as well as healthcare employees and education employees.
Not only is Chevrolet offering $500 in savings towards the purchase of your new Chevy, but Steve Ponte Chevy is going to match that with an additional $500 for a total of $1,000 in savings as our thank you to you.
So together, let's drive and see why our customers always say it's so easy to do business with Steve Ponte Chevy on Route 28 in Herkimer.
Customer must qualify for educator, military, veterans, first responder, and healthcare discount. Must take delivery by February 28, 2025. See salesperson for details.
Keeler in the morning, Keeler in the morning.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Hey, portions of the program this morning brought to you by the Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills. Accepting new patients, the Falcon Clinic is the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic, and they're accepting new patients right now. If you're in need of a new family doctor, they have you covered. If you're having an issue that you cannot seem to resolve, there's nobody any better than Dr. Shemaleski and Dr. Zielinski to take care of you. If you need acupuncture, if you're in need of a counselor, or any of those services, all available under one roof at the Falcon Clinic. Call today, 315-507-4751. The Falcon Clinic is in Washington Mills. Andrew Dominio, good morning.
Good morning, Bill. Good morning. If you can call it that.
So, yeah, I guess we have a bunch of comments online on YouTube here this morning.
Yeah, you can see those, right? I can't. I haven't pulled up
I
yet.
got a bunch here. Fire department is just one big scam, says some guy on the 315. They are not a nonprofit. You can claim all you want that they don't cost the city money. You then have to remember they all get benefits and a pension. Well, I do believe I don't think anybody's saying that it's a big part of the budget, right?
It is. Public safety is the biggest chunk. If we look at the proposed budget that Mayor Galimi presented and brought into us, over 61% of the budget is public safety.
I don't know on this who they're talking about, but they're saying lovely white sweater. Are you wearing a white sweater today?
No, Megan is. Yeah, the creeps are coming out. The creeps are coming out in full force.
I'm not sure
now that she's on camera.
I'm not sure Timothy Toolman is falls into that category. He's just saying really nice sweater. So is Megan right there?
Yes, she is.
Yes, I am.
She's not now. Oh, good morning. Nice sweater, I'm told.
I'm very fashionable.
I got to tell you, This is the first time I've ever done the show. Well, that's not true. I've done this before, probably when we're doing like a fundraiser and maybe camping outside in the cold. I might have had a blanket on me then. But otherwise, normally I don't ever have a blanket doing the show, except for today. This hotel room has big windows. And it is, I don't know what the temperature is here right now in the city. I can tell you. It's 29. So something about 29 in New York City and 20 below in upstate New York, they feel about the same. I don't know. Maybe it's the cold. It's the cold concrete.
Well, the wind whips through the buildings.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
And it whips through these windows, and I'm freezing my tail off. I have the heat on 82. It's doing no good whatsoever. The Easy Pass scam, be careful. That basically runs Easy Pass has been sold to the country of Singapore and has ties to the CCP. Okay, I don't think that's true. That's QAnon, John. By the way, the CCP no longer technically exists, does it? I guess that's the Chinese Communist Party. Okay. Many elderly people fall for the scam. Doesn't mean they're stupid. People fall for that. So they're going back and forth on this. We're talking about that, and there's a whole thing on our website that walks you through the scam. And Megan, some of these scams look really, really real.
Yeah, scammers are always perfecting their art, and we always have to be on top of it to know the telltale signs that you are being scammed, especially when your text messages go, you have an unpaid toll, please pay urgently.
Yeah,
Things like that.
Especially maybe somebody who's new to having a phone. You know, some of these elderly targets, they may have gotten their first phone, so they don't know to think, well, this can't be real.
Yeah, that's another one.
Part of the problem is they really go, they hit oftentimes when someone, so for instance, the people I spoke to had just, for the first time in a long time, had just gone on the thruway. Now they're getting this message, quote, from the thruway. They just, for them, they just thought, oh, we're being, even though they have Easy Pass, they thought that they were being charged And, one of these issues where you end up, you keep complaining about, Andrew, where you weren't somewhere and you're charged.
Yeah.
Or it didn't read your Easy Pass and they charged you. And that's what they thought. And before you knew it, they got sucked right in.
Yep.
So it can happen. Yeah.
It can indeed. We have the sheriff, too, if you want to take him.
We do. I do want to go with that. The USPS scams are also really bad. A lot of this you can tell by the phone number. If you see a plus before the phone number,
international,
chances are it's an overseas number. Yep. Yeah. All right, let's bring in Sheriff Rob Mashel. And there was a death that occurred inside the the Oneida County Jail. Sheriff Rob Mashel, good morning.
Good morning, guys. How are you today?
Good. Can I start with the weather out there? Can you talk about the condition of the roads? Obviously, this wind getting into it, causing visibility issues. This has just been quite the winter.
I'm actually out in it right now, and it is treacherous. It's our two hot spots, I guess you could say, general areas. The northern part of the county, several roads are zero visibility with the wind blowing and drifting, and also the southern part of the county. There are a few road closures. We haven't been able to put them out publicly yet, but there's just some roads are completely impassable due to the lake effect snow and the high gusty winds. So if people don't have to be out today, please don't travel if you don't have to.
Yeah. Don't travel if you don't have to. All right, tell me where we are with this terrible issue that occurred at the Oneida County Jail.
Yes, definitely a tragic situation. Yesterday, shortly before 3 p.m., one of our correction officers discovered an unresponsive male in his cell. At that point, obviously, our emergency protocols are put into place, which includes response from several different officers throughout the facility, along with medical response. Same time, 911 is called for fire and EMS, ambulance, etc. Life-saving measures were undertaken immediately upon discovery of the unresponsive incarcerated person. Despite their valiant efforts, unfortunately, the individual was pronounced deceased at Wynn Hospital upon transport there by Kunkel ambulance. A little bit later this afternoon, I'll be able to release the name. We're just trying to make final contact with the individual's next of kin, and then we'll be able to release a few more details, in regards to this. As you know, when a death occurs in the custody of a peace or police officer, and certainly the jail falls under that category, we immediately notify the New York State Attorney General's office. They actually did respond to our facility last night, along with our internal investigation that we conduct through our law enforcement division at the sheriff's office. And in addition to that, obviously the New York State Commission of Corrections is immediately notified. So there's, three separate investigations. At this point, like I said, I don't have a lot of further information to release, but it's unfortunately, my 15 years as a sheriff, this has happened a few times. We do everything we can to prevent these deaths in our custody. But like I said, this did occur, and like I said, we'll get out as much information here as we can a little bit later today.
I know this isn't necessarily anything to do with this issue, but there has over the years been a problem where it's so difficult, almost impossible to stop drugs from coming into the jail. Is that still a problem?
That is still a problem. Overdoses in correctional facilities is a big problem. Again, I'm not going to get into whether that was an issue with this case just yet or not, but that has been a problem for jails and prisons across this country. Contraband people get very creative and determined on wanting to get contraband into a facility. But again, that's a completely separate issue from what we're dealing with here yesterday.
Can you, Sheriff, say at this point whether you feel this was suspicious, the circumstances surrounding this, or it's not known, or you're not able to say at this time?
I would say, it's not suspicious. I mean, obviously we know what happened. We've just, like I said, there's several different mandated protocols that we have to follow prior to releasing any further information. And most importantly, we want to make contact with the deceased family and make sure that, they're all aware of the passing and where we go from here with that.
All right. Well, it is certainly unfortunate, and there's a family out there that is being notified, and I know you take it incredibly seriously, Sheriff. That when someone is in the custody of the county, that is very important. That you guys are there to take care of that person, so they're able to do their time and then move on to the next step. Hopefully, be in a corrected position where they can move on to become or return to be productive members of society.
That's always our goal, and obviously we do our best. And unfortunately these things do occur from time to time. Like I said, first and foremost, our priority today is to make sure that family's notified, see where we go from here. Also, I want to say thank you to the correction officers and medical staff at the jail. They have a very difficult job, and when these things happen, they did everything they possibly could to save the individual's life. And they're dealing with that too. It's difficult, very, very difficult for them also, because not only are these people that they're in charge of taking care of, but when something like this happens, that has a significant effect on the officers that working in that unit, and we're doing their best to save the individual's life. So all around, it's a difficult situation. And like I said, we're strong. We're together, and like I said, we will get through the situation. And like I said, we'll get you more information just a little bit later today when I'm authorized to do so.
All right, and then just on the other topic of the snow, you never know when you're driving along, and one of these. You get caught into a lake effect snow belt where you go from, you can easily go from sunshine to whiteout conditions. And one of the things the Weather Service is saying today is to beware of blizzard-like conditions at times. Just need to be really, really cautious out there on the highways.
The snow that's fallen overnight and what we're expecting today is lake effect, which, as you know, is light snow. And when you mix that with 35 to 60 mile an hour wind gusts at time, those whiteouts, I mean, I don't care how long or how familiar you are with a road that you drive on every single day. When you see nothing but white in front of you, it's very, very difficult to see. So again, and some people panic and they stop, which is okay, but until you get rear-ended, I know we've got several of those accidents happening right now as we speak. You keep going, you find yourself off the road and into another situation. So again, if you don't have to be out today is one of those days where, it's just a nice day to hunker down inside and on the couch and listen to the Keeler show in the morning that can, wrapped up in your blanket and stay safe. And, the snowbanks are incredible. Pulling out of parking lots. Right now, a tractor trailer is spinning his wheels in front of me as I'm going around him. It's not good out here. Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah. All right, Sheriff, as always, we appreciate your time. We'll check in again later in the day and tomorrow. Thank you.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys. All right. Bye-bye. Bye.
All right. Sheriff Rob Mashel, and we'll have that complete story later on. Andrew, I want to leave you with one story, and I just find this is unbelievable. A 55-year-old tourist from Canada they were traveling in the Bahamas, and when they saw a shark, and decided that this was the perfect time to take a selfie with the shark. I mean, listen, what is the one thing that people do the minute they see something?
You see the fin?
Instead of helping the person, in a tragedy, you grab a phone.
Yep.
Instead of even getting yourself out of harm's way, you grab your phone. The 55-year-old saw the shark. Local authorities said she strayed a few yards into the water, seeing the shark there, and attempted to engage the 6-foot-long shark and take a selfie.
Oh,
the
boy.
shark came out of the water and bit off her arm.
Oh, my
Boom.
God.
The arm was taken from below the wrist and the other halfway up her forearm. It
wasn't the selfie arm, was it?
Unfortunately, the selfie arm holding the camera, she lost it all.
Oh, my gosh. Yuck.
You know, when you're in these little situations, you might want to consider your own safety before you start trying to take a photo. And on
Agreed.
that note, we'll call it a day. We're back here tomorrow morning. Be safe out there. Full forecast and news coming right up.
Every once in a while, something that sounds too good to be true is actually, in fact, true. How would you like up to $4,000 of free windows? And when I say $4,000 of free windows, I mean $4,000 of free windows. No gimmicks or games. You don't have to buy $4,000 to get $4,000 free. You just get up to $4,000 of free windows through Patriot Home Solutions and NYSERDA. Of course, some restrictions apply, but none of these restrictions are income-based, and you don't have to sit through a long, drawn-out sales presentation. Give Patriot a call at 315-401-0440, and they can quickly tell you over the phone if you qualify or how you can get qualified. That's 315-401-0440. These aren't any windows. They're high-quality, custom-fitted windows designed to save energy and keep the cold air out all winter. Your window solution is Patriot Home Solutions. Online at patriothomesolutions.com.
Sarah's Flooring Outlet is the area's leading flooring store for Pergo Extreme by Mohawk.
Only Sarah's can offer a lowest price guarantee on Pergo Extreme.
Sarah's will beat anyone's Pergo Extreme price within a 60-mile radius of our store.
Pergo Extreme from Sarah's offers deeper visuals. The wide-ranging, authentic looks and deep textures are available in beautiful wood and stone patterns.
Deeper protection. The superior wear layer and layered construction offers the best protection against wear and dents.
Deeper warranty. Industry-leading and worry-free for life. 100% dent-proof, waterproof, kid-proof, and pet-proof.
Plus, get 6 months